Ooh, morning, good evening, good afternoon. What's going on, brothers? It is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another classic, future classic live stream. Before I carry on any further in this live stream, can we please press a one in the live stream chat if y'all can hear me loud and clear? How is my audio? Mayday, mayday. Do y'all hear me? Okay. Bishop, am I good on your end?
Yes, sir. All good to go, baby.
Fantastic, bro. Shout out to Mr. Bass Pill Clips for the one. Appreciate you, brother. Can I get a couple more ones as well, bro? Brothers in the live stream chat. Let's go, brothers. Who else is here in the building? Okay, awesome. Shaq Fu. Can I get two more ones to make sure? Onasi, can I get one more one to make sure I'm good across the board before I carry on any further in this live stream? Okay. Right, awesome. All right, so let's get it cracking. So, welcome, brothers, to another classic live stream. I'm your gracious host, Mr. International Passport. I want to say, welcome, brothers, welcome to another classic live stream. As always, when you come in the live stream, please like the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Show some support on the super chats and, of course, the PayPal. And, of course, check out the Patreon. If you're going the Python course, congratulations. I think that's filled up now, but double check if there's still a space there. But I think it's filled. But there was some very little spaces left when I last checked. Um, and of course, please cop the merch. And of course, please book your consultations in regards to IT. Let's get it cracking. So tonight, I got a very special guest here called Mr. Bishop, who'll be breaking down his incredible experiences across Japan, uh, uh, Tokyo, Osaka, and a couple other cities too, bro. How you doing, Bishop?
You there, brother?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Sorry about that. You cut out for a second.
No worries, brother. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How you doing, IP? Pleasure
I'm
to be
doing
on your channel too, man.
I'm, all good, brother. I'm doing fantastic, brother. So, Mr. Bishop, can you give us a brief intro about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and anything special about you?
Yeah, man. I'm from the States. I've been working since I was a mid teenager, man. I've been pretty decent with my money. Saved my money pretty much all my life. Ever since I was a teen, man, I got money from back then, and I work as a salesman right now, and I also have other ventures that I'm working on. And I'm just always been. I've never spent a lot. I live by myself. I have for years, almost a decade now. I live by myself, man. And so, cost of living. I'm in one of the top three cost of living states in the country. So, cost of living here is pretty decent where I am. Um, so yeah, man, I always had a dream to go to Japan ever since I was a little kid. I think when I was a kid, man, what got me originally into the Japanese culture is like a lot of people from the West, just anime. You know, I saw Dragon Ball Z when I was like, I don't know, 5 years old, 4 years old, and of course Pokemon and stuff. But Dragon Ball Z was like my favorite, and I didn't even know what anime was at the time. I didn't know that it even existed. I just knew Dragon Ball Z was one of the cartoons that came on Cartoon Network. I loved it, watched it, and then as I grew older, more anime started coming, and then the term anime I learned about, and then so that just pulled me into the Japanese culture, man. And I had the money. I worked my butt off for years, and I decided that the time was then. I actually ordered my ticket and then left 10 days later. Like that's how quick I went from okay, this is just a dream of mine. I'm probably never gonna go to I was like, you know what, F it. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of putting it off. I got my passport. I'm going. So I went.
Fantastic, man. Great intuition there and great drive there to achieve your dream. What's the best anime of all time in your opinion, bro?
I'm a big anime nerd, man. Like I watch a lot. And I even when I'm super passionate about something IP, I get real into it, man. I study all of it until there's nothing left. Be it uh so-called quote unquote black history, all the way to sports, all the way to anime, pro wrestling. So I'm a pretty big nerd, but man, to me, Dragon Ball Z is the GOAT. It'll probably always be the GOAT. But man, I like so many different ones, man. I love Attack on Titan. I love One Piece. I love Naruto. I love Cowboy Bebop. I mean, Inuyasha. Uh, Bleach is cool, man. Yu Yu Hakusho is Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball Z to me are like 1A, 1B. And then I mean I love a lot of I like Violet Evergarden, man. You know, and it's a girly anime, but you know, I like a lot of different anime, man.
Hey, good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Awesome. So you went to Japan because it's a dream of yours. Where did you touch down in Japan, bro? What city first?
Osaka. I went to Osaka, the prefecture of Osaka first. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting, bro. So I've always heard that, Osaka and Tokyo are two completely different cities, right? Can you confirm that's the case? If so, why are Tokyo and Osaka different from each other?
Shaq, I'm looking at the comments, man. Shaq Fu, that's pretty funny, dog. Yeah, man. So Osaka and Tokyo, they're very different. I mean, they're similar in the way that they're structured, but they're different in the people. I would say, man, I prefer Osaka over Tokyo for sure. I've always since I went there, I thought about what it would be like if I moved to Japan, and if I did move to Japan, it would be Osaka simply because Osaka has everything that Tokyo has. It's just Tokyo. I feel like Tokyo is more. Everything is closer together. There's just as much to do in Osaka as there is in Tokyo, man. Um, and by the way, real quick, RP, I want to say this to all the brothers. Brothers, take a chance on yourself. Like we're raised in a society in the West where the black man is subconsciously and consciously always told to not bet on yourself and to allow others to be the leader and others know what's best for you. And but if you put in the work and you do your due diligence and you're vigilant and you keep the faith and you keep faith in yourself, you should take a chance. And that's what I did by going to Japan, brothers. I didn't know a soul in Japan. I'm not fluent in the language. I know, phrases and keywords here and there. I didn't know how. I knew, vaguely how it was structured, but I didn't really know much. I didn't know how the train system worked completely, and it was a, it was a. I got pretty anxious when I got there. Like I got pretty. I had a panic attack because like I said, I didn't know anybody. But after I was there for like I would say a good 30 minutes to an hour, I was all good, man. And but yeah, sorry to get off track, IP. But yeah, man, to get back to your point, Osaka and Tokyo, they're pretty different because Tokyo people are more like people from New York City. They're really, they're really straightforward. They're very, not rude because Japanese people really aren't rude, at least overtly. But they're very direct and they're trying to be about business. If they're walking somewhere, they're walking with a purpose. They're walking to from point A to point B and not get distracted, not have anybody be in their way. They're trying to do something. They're trying to accomplish something, whether it be work, whatever it may be. In Osaka, the people are a little bit more laid back. They're a little bit more friendly. And not to say that people, like I said, people in Tokyo are friendly, but people in Osaka are friendly as well. A little bit more so, I would say. And they're a little bit more welcoming. People in Tokyo are welcoming, but people in Osaka kind of go out of their way to kind of make you feel welcome. And I just prefer Osaka, one of the reasons. And like I said, man, there's Akihabara in Tokyo, which everybody knows about. But there's also Denden Town in Osaka, which is the same as Akihabara. It's just a little bit smaller, and there's just as much stuff to do. So I like Denden Town a little bit more.
Awesome, bro. So let's break down Osaka to an absolute T here. So tell me the culture in Osaka. How is that like, brother? In terms of like you know, the way of life there, the vibrancy, the atmosphere. What is Osaka culture like
I,
in coming through the eyes of you yourself, bro?
well, okay, so I haven't ever been outside of my home country, right? So it's Osaka and Tokyo. They're both Japan, obviously, and Japanese people as a whole have a certain culture about themselves. Um, I can't think of a. Obviously, I haven't done enough, exploring around the world IP, which I will do, but I cannot think of a better people to be around than Japanese people. They
Damn.
are. I mean, they're the night. They're like, and don't get me wrong. A lot of their culture is fake in terms of, and I don't mean that in a negative way. But if they don't like you, if they don't want to be around you, if they think you're unattractive or whatever negative thing they think, they're not gonna voice it to you. That's just their culture to never make outsiders feel unwelcome. And so that's why they will look at you like I said in a previous stream I was a guest on your channel. But they'll all go, you're a black man, right? And being a quote unquote black man in Japan, they might have never seen one before. So everywhere you go, everybody's going to look at you. But it's not like it is in the States where they're looking at you because they want you to leave or they don't like you or they're racist. It's nothing like that. It's just you might be the third black person they've seen in their entire 30-year life. But to go back to your point, IP, sorry, man, I'm a little scattering. To go back to your point, IP, about Osaka, the culture there, man, super just fun and just laid back. You got street performers, you got it's not about I need a dollar, I need a dollar, I need your money, I need your money, like it is in the States. And it's more it's more laid back, man, and everybody just wants to have fun. Most of the people there are people on vacation. Even a lot of the Japanese, like they're from out in the countryside, and so they're visiting Osaka to get that Osaka lifestyles. So they're there just happy-go-lucky. Like a lot of the foreigners, a lot of the people that are there, man. I went to a lot of different places in Osaka, and man, they just want to have fun. When they and then when they get drunk, I got a story I can tell you later, man, about these three drunk Japanese guys, funniest, nicest dudes I ever ran into. But man, especially when they get drunk, and Japanese drink a lot, man. So when they get drunk, they're even more friendly. I mean, when they're at clubs, they're even more friendly, man. So Osaka, super laid back, especially where I was. I had a hotel in Shinsaibashi, which is kind of like the busiest, funnest. I mean, it's where everything is. Excuse me. It's where the food is. It's where the women are. It's where the clubs are. It's where the bars are. And that was awesome. So yeah, that's Osaka, man. Super, just laid back, just having fun.
Amazing, bro. Incredible. So, within Osaka, brother, right? I want to break down, like, cost of living there, right?
Yeah.
How cheap is it, or expensive is it compared to America? Break it down for us, bro.
So the cost of living between Osaka and Tokyo is a little bit different, but it's not that much different. In Osaka, brother, I mean, you could spend $8 US, which is probably like, I would say maybe 710 Japanese yen, maybe 700 Japanese yen. I don't know. Somebody in the comments if you want to convert that, but I'll say maybe 690 Japanese yen, which is about $8. You can get a whole dinner, man. Whole dinner. I mean, all you can eat ramen. You can get whatever. If you got $8, you're good to go as far as a full day of food. And then as far as going and doing things, I went to I went to the mall, of course. I went to USJ, which is Universal Studios in Osaka. Probably one of the funnest times I ever had in my life. I went to an aquarium, and the aquarium was like huge aquarium. And for me, by myself, I forgot exactly how much it was, but it was super inexpensive. I think for like two people, I think it was like $40 USD. So yeah, man. It was super inexpensive, especially in comparison to America. In America, cost of living is getting worse and worse. Ever since the pandemic to now, man, it's just gotten worse and worse.
Amazing, brother. So, within Osaka, brother, right?
Mhm.
Tell us about the food. I think food is very important. We want to have cheap food, tasty
Right.
food. How is Osaka food like with brothers?
Oh man, I don't, brothers, man. The food in Japan, period, is one of the best things about Japan. You don't have the extra in America. You won't notice unless you go outside of America, brothers. The food has a even if you eat the same dish, it's going to taste better in other countries simply because they don't have as many additives as we do in America to our food. Basically, our food is, I mean, it's basically poison. They put a lot of antibiotics in it. They put a lot of steroids in the meat. I mean, it just tastes completely different. Osaka's known for takoyaki. As far as the food dish, it's a fried octopus. It's a fried ball with a little tiny piece of octopus inside. I don't know if you had that IP, but it's delicious, man. I don't eat pork, so it's kind of they eat pork in everything. So I had to like go out of my way to eat dishes that did not have pork in them. But man, the food and the cost of the food is so inexpensive. They got this thing called it starts with a K and it's sushi, and it's like I think it's curry or kuro, and it's sushi, and it's you sit at a table. There's a screen. You touch what you want. It'll be like $1 or 80 cents per dish, and it'll come down a line. It'll come from the kitchen on this little conveyor belt, and it just slides all the way down to your table and stops in front of your table. When you pull it off, you eat it. You just pick a dish, as many dishes as you want. I always go one at a time. And then it's what's cool about that place specifically is after you eat a certain amount of dishes, you can get you can enter a drawing for a game, and if you win it, you get something anime based. Like I got some tape that's from a Demon Slayer, which is a dope anime. If y'all haven't watched it, if y'all into anime, but anyway, that's one food place, man. And then I went to I forgot Echiran ramen, I think is what it's called. It starts with an E. Can't remember exactly. The no pork one they have there. You sit at this little tiny. I mean, it's kind of too small for the average black man, but the small little square window you sit at. You have a little ticket which has what you desire on what you desire, what type of ramen you want, what you want on it, and all that. You slide it into the window. The guy on the other side takes it, makes your food, brings it to your tiny window. It's a tiny little cubicle. I would say probably 4 feet wide, and everybody's at their own cubicle. And they slide the window up, give you your dish. They bow. They slide the window down, and you just eat your ramen, man. I mean, and that was like $8, $7 maybe USD, which is if it's $7 USD, then it's probably 590 Japanese yen. Super inexpensive, man. And then the food is fantastic. And then they have homemade ice cream. I went to Americura, which is an American district in Osaka by Shinsaibashi. They sell American clothes and American culture items. And I had some homemade ice cream, and that's where I got the first takoyaki I ever had, and it was all delicious.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. So accommodation, you mentioned you were in a hotel, right? Can you tell us if that hotel was good? How much it cost you every day? Was it a good price, a good rate for what you think is worth your time in Japan? Break down the accommodation matter.
Yeah, I stayed at Hotel Nikko in Shinsaibashi, which is I wouldn't say it's expensive because I live in America. It's one of the nicest hotels in Osaka. I looked up the history. Some celebrities stay there when they go out there to Japan. It was about 110 USD a night, which sounds expensive, but for me, it's not because I'm a baller or anything. But I saved for years to go on this trip, so I had the funds. And I stayed there 2 weeks. And I mean, it was definitely worth it. The nicest hotel. The hotel directly connects to the train line, so you could take a train up to your hotel. It'll go under your hotel, and then you just walk up some steps, take the elevator, go right up to your room. And the nicest, the nicest cleaning ladies you will ever meet in your life. Every morning when I left my hotel, I go into the hallway, and they say "Ohayo gozaimasu." I say "Ohayo," because Japanese people, man, when they say things in Japanese to strangers, they say them with an emphasis. I don't know why. I talked to a Japanese girl I know about it, but yeah, man, they say like I was on a train one time and this dude bumped into my backpack pretty hard by accident, of course, and he said "Gomenasai," which means I'm sorry. Yeah, but the hotel's dope, man. Super good hotel, man. Super nice, luxurious. Yeah, it was cool. And I had
Amazing.
my view. Oh my god, IP, I gotta send you a picture, man, real quick. The view I had in my hotel room, dog. I could see it was a huge window, like right by the bed, like literally 3 inches away from the bed, and I could see the whole city, man. Like every girl that came through was like, "Oh my god, so beautiful, beautiful." Talking about the view, it was dope, man, dope.
Every girl that came through, huh?
IP, you know how you come on, man. You know, come on, man. And I got receipts too. For all you brothers don't want to doubt, I got receipts, man.
Hey, it's gonna be a classic, bro. Amazing, amazing. Bishop's coming through with the classic verbiage. Incredible, incredible. So, and this is great, man. Seeing brothers, living good, eating good. I think like that life is going good for you, bro, when you're in a hotel that you can afford and the views emphasize just how well your life is going, right? You simply get out of bed, you walk towards the window, and then you look over the city. You see the lights, you see the whole city, and you're on your high tower. You have your hand in your pocket, you have a bad bee right in the bed laying down, and she's looking at you. I can't believe I got him. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
That's
dude. Hey, IP, you man, dog. I'm telling you, man. Like, I swear, brother. I woke up one morning because the first night I was there, I hadn't slept in like 20 some hours because where I live in the States is not it's not a big it's not a big city. It's not like Dallas or LA or New York or Atlanta. So I had to fly. I had like 2 overlays, and then I flew to California, and then I went to Japan. So I was tired, man. First night I was there, Shorty came through. The next morning when I woke up, man, I swear I felt like Drake, dog. I had the blinds pulled back. I was looking over the city, and I had Shorty was gorgeous, man. Like dude, I'm telling you, gorgeous. And I was like, I'm really in Japan. Like, what? I'm really in Japan. I was like, what? Man, dog, I couldn't believe it, man. I was bugging out. I was like, this is, brothers, man, you have faith in yourself, man. You can do it. I'm telling you, even if you work a simple 9 to 5, be smart with your money. Stop buying every pair of Jordans that come out. Eat on on your own means. Don't overspend. Save for like a year, man. Just put aside a couple $100 a month, or put aside what you can, and over time, man, you'll be able to do it. Brothers have to believe in themselves. And the West, man, society takes that belief out of brothers, whether it be their mom doing it subconsciously, whether it be the news, your friends, your environment. You have to believe that you can do it, or you'll never be able to do it, brothers. And I looked at Japan as a dream that I'd never be able to accomplish. But watching some YouTubers, and then watching IP, Theo and Terry, I think is his name, watching them brothers talk about it, man, I was like, I gotta see this for myself, man. So yeah, IP, you 100% spot on, man. Brothers have to love themselves to be able to do this. You gotta love yourself, brothers.
Facts, man. And I'll tell you my experience, man. I remember, when it first clicked to me that I'm in Japan, I'm really out here, man. Really out here, man. We're
Yep.
really out here, bruh.
Yes, sir.
I was on a date with a Japanese chick, right? Beautiful Japanese chick. I met her on the same day. We were on a date 30 minutes later, having a coffee date. I'm looking at her eye to eye. And in my mind, right, I'm really in Japan, and I'm on a date with a dime Japanese chick.
Yes, sir.
You don't
Yes,
get better
sir.
than that, bruv.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, and I see in the comments, brothers saying 150 a week for a hotel. No. This hotel was $110 a night for this hotel. So I just want to make that clear to brothers. It was a fairly expensive hotel. But IP, brother, you're right, man. Just be, because Japan is very. If you try, let's say IP, I'm from America and I travel to the UK for quote unquote vacation. It's different, obviously, right? And it's a different place, different surroundings. But we all speak English. We're all it's a very similar feeling, I would imagine. I've never been, but I met a guy from the UK at a pub crawl in Osaka. Me and him got real close. We're still friends to this day, and we were just saying how similar it is in both places. Japan, you can't get any different as far as the first world country from Japan and the West, from Japan and America. Totally different letters, totally as far as the alphabet, totally different language, totally different culture. I mean, it's opposite in almost every way in terms of culture from America to Japan. It's almost opposite in every way you can think of. So to be just over there, brother, I mean, I literally couldn't, like, to myself, like, I mean, this is like a week into being over there. I would stop sometimes to be like, I'm really in Japan right now. Like, this is crazy. So I know exactly what you mean. Surrounded by beautiful feminine women that don't want to argue with you, don't want to call you names, don't want to aren't thinking that they're the best God's gift to men. They're just normal, beautiful women that are going through their lives. They're not mad if you approach them. They're not. It's totally different, man.
Facts, bro. Facts. So, next question for you, brother, is in terms of now, safety, brother. Did you feel safe in America? Sorry, in Japan, bro.
In America, no. Nah, man. Yeah, nah. In Japan is number one and the least amount of crime in all of the first world countries in the world, man. Japan is. Don't get me wrong. Don't be an idiot. Don't walk around. I don't know. Don't be dumb, people. But yes, Japan is extremely safe for all brothers. So man, I was walking around at late at night by myself, just so I could see the city. That's what I spent most of my time doing, brothers. In Japan was walking around and seeing the city, and that's also a good way if you want to lose some weight, brothers. The food over there is not super fatty, and you walk in everywhere you go, and that's why Japan has the least amount of obese percentage wise in all first world countries, because they walk everywhere they go and they take the train. But yeah, brother, very very safe in Japan. I mean, I think they had in 2022 they had 3 gun related crimes in the entire country in 2022, and compared to America, which I don't know, we probably had 3 in 30 minutes. So
and those guns were probably handmade by the Japanese people, not actually real guns. I'm
yeah,
telling you, bruv, it's so safe.
I probably right, brother, probably right.
So, next question for you, bro, is racism, right? And before you answer this question, bro, like I speak to a lot of brothers, they're telling me Japan is 98% Japanese. Are you sure they like black men? How would they be treated as a black man? Did you feel any sort of racism or animosity from not only Japanese people, but the foreign people there, like the English whites, the Australian people, the Asians there that were Hong Kong Chinese? Any sort of racism or that kind of vibe at all, bro?
I'm looking at the comments. Yeah, I thought Japan was first. I guess it's not, but last time I looked it up, it was first. But my bad on that, y'all. But yeah, brother. As far as the racism, and I'm gonna be straight up with brothers. The West conditions brothers' minds to think about racism 24/7, 365, to almost look for racism. And I understand that thought process because I used to think that way too. But I grew out of that way of thinking, and I just don't care if you're like, if I go to Walmart and I buy something and the register person's counting my change back to me, and the whole time they're thinking I hate black people, I wish he would leave. I'm not gonna be in my feelings about that. I'm gonna make sure he give me the right change and say have a good day and walk out. I don't care what he thinks. So brothers got to get out of that way of thinking as far as what others think of you and what they're saying. Like if they're not trying to harm you, brother, who cares? F them. But as far as Japan, man, no racism at all, dude. From the Japanese people, absolutely no racism. You're going to be looked at though. You're definitely everywhere you go. I would say 80% of the people, 80% of the time that you go somewhere, you are going to be looked at. Trust me, you're going to be looked at by everybody there. But they're not going to stare at you. They're looking, like I said earlier, because they may have not seen a black man before, or they may be infatuated with black men, and they don't know how to, they don't express it because in Japan that's considered rude. And then as far as other people, man, like the foreigners and stuff over there, everybody's pretty much on vacation, so nobody has any anger or ill will because everybody just wants to have fun because they're on vacation as far as the foreigners go. Um, I did get a couple looks that I could tell from non-Japanese that were like more than just, oh my gosh, a black person. It was like, wow, you can afford to be here. So but I don't care, man. I'm living my best life. I got a little bit of bread. I'm looking for, beautiful Japanese. Like I don't care about, what they thinking. So one thing that I did discover, man, is that Japanese, and of course it's not every single one of them, brothers, but Japanese and Chinese people they hate each other, man, which I had no idea before I went over to Japan. That's one thing about racism that I learned is when gaijin is what we are over there, IP, as you know, foreigners, but they don't even, I talked to some Japanese girls, they don't consider Chinese gaijin. They consider them Chinese, even if they are foreigners. When they say gaijin or when they're referring to foreigners, they mean black people or white people, basically, is what they mean. So.
So obviously the Japanese people told you in Japan that they don't mess with the Chinese. Why is that, bro? What's the reason for that?
Well, before I went to Japan, brothers, I my one of my coworkers had started over at my job, and she was there a few months, and she was, of course, she was from China, directly from China, and she was fine too. She was older, but she was fine. And so, I'm hollering at her, I'm talking to her, and I told her, I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to. I'm joking around. I was like, I'm gonna go to Asia and find me a wife." She said, "Oh, really? Where you go? Where you go?" I said, I think first I'm gonna go to Japan." "Oh no, don't go to Japan. Go to China." I'm like, "Why? Why I can't go to Japan?" "I know, like Japan. The Japanese people, they're not good people. I know, like." So I'm like, "What?" Like in my head, I'm thinking, "Wow, like I ain't never heard that." Because my ignorant brain, to me, Asians are Asians. Like I didn't know that it's more so Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. Of course, Indians are technically Asians and they're different, but I didn't know that there were so big differences between Japanese and Chinese and Korean. I knew about the wars and whatnot, of course, but I didn't know, right? So I get over to Japan, man, and I'm talking to a shorty about I don't know how China got brought up, but somehow China got brought up, and she was like, I don't, basically she didn't like Chinese people. She said, of course she said she didn't hate them, but she doesn't like them. And I was taken aback because I had no idea. And she's like, she acted like, "What are you talking about? Everybody knows Chinese people do this, they do that, and blah blah blah." So I'm like, damn, I never knew. And so I when I met my boy at the pub crawl, me and him went to USJ together after that. And we was hanging out, and there was probably more Chinese at USJ than there was Japanese. And the kids was acting crazy and bumped into him a bunch of times while we were waiting in line and all this stuff. I was like, "Dang, man, they tripping basically." He was like, "Oh, that's just how Chinese people are." And I was like, "Dang, word, like am I the only one that doesn't know? Because I don't know." Um, so yeah, man. Japanese people and Chinese people, and then when I met to rent the Romanian chick, she told me, yeah, Chinese people and Japanese people, they hate each other, and she even said that sometimes, a lot of the time, Koreans and Japanese don't like each other either. And I didn't know, but I mean, I figured it's because of the wars, obviously, but I didn't know it was still a thing. So yeah.
So let me ask you, brother. So how old was that Japanese chick, right? That was that didn't mess with Chinese people.
Well,
How
it
old
was
was
two.
she?
It was two of them. One was 49, and then the other one was probably, I would say, 24.
Okay, interesting. Okay, no, that was an interesting breakdown. Thank you, bro. So next question for you, brother. I think I've got a good summary of Osaka, right? Would you live in Osaka, brother, if you were to move to Japan?
IP, man. You, you laugh because you know the answer to that question, man. Come on, dude. Of course I would live in Osaka. What? Of course I would live in Osaka, man. God, Osaka, man. Brothers, I can't emphasize. I can't even put it in words. If you're going to Japan, of course everybody gonna go to Tokyo. Everybody know that. Cool. Of course, Tokyo is Tokyo. We got to go to Tokyo. You don't visit America and not go to New York City. I got it. But you got to go to Osaka, brothers. Do it for yourself. I'm not trying to hype it up, overhype it, but Osaka. I would rather live in Osaka than Tokyo, 1,000%. And I like Tokyo. Don't get it twisted. I went to all the little cities in Tokyo. I love Tokyo, but Osaka. And next time I go back, I'm going to Okinawa too. But Osaka, man, you got to go to Osaka, dog.
Amazing, amazing. Now, still on the Osaka topic, brother, right? I'm going to ask you a very important question, brother. It is probably the most important question in the history of mankind, bro. It-
No, 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 hold on, Auntie, don't, Auntie, hold up, man, hold up. Before you ask, hold up. Do everybody in this chat know what IP finna ask? Are they checking for brothers? Are they checking for brothers?
oh man.
Okay, IP,
So,
go ahead. You take it away, dog. You got it. You got it.
so this question, right, is a question that can turn water into wine.
Hey, this should have been the last question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, yo.
This question, bro, can stop world wars, bro. This question, brother, can, split the this a sea into two, like in the Bible, to allow mankind to walk through to one point to the other point. This
Hey, hold on,
question, brother,
IP.
right?
This is so you're saying this is the bridge that can connect brothers to Osaka, is what you said.
That's correct, bro. It's that powerful, brother. And this question, brother, right, is so powerful, bro. It can allow mankind or brother to walk on water like Christ did in the Bible, bro. The question is, brother, right?
Yeah,
Are the
yeah.
women in Osaka, Japan, checking heavy for brothers, brother?
Oh man, IP, that beautiful question that all brothers need to hear, man. That beautiful question. Brothers, know your worth, man. I'm gonna get to the answer, but I gotta build it up. I gotta build towards it. Know your worth, man. Black men in America, especially in the West, especially, you are more important than gold. You have to understand how valuable you are. We are what makes the world go round. When they want to be cool, who do they dress like? The Western black man. When they want to play sports, who they want to play like? The Western black man. When they want to talk cool, when they want to have the ladies, when they want to have swag, when they want to be cool, who do they look to, brothers? The Western black man. So we got to know our worth, man. We're the goats. We we Michael Jordan, dog. But anyway, to get around to the question, obviously, a big obvious, the answer is yes. Of course, they checking for brothers, but I don't want to give. And this is now, I was being funny and all that, but we got to be serious for a second, brothers. I don't want to give y'all a false sense of reality, a false sense of hope. You cannot step off the plane, even if you look good, you're in good shape, got a good haircut, and think you're just gonna walk up to a Japanese girl and, oh, let's go back to the hotel. It don't work that way. You're not just gonna walk around and Japanese girls are gonna throw themselves at you. It don't work that way, brothers. So you got to be realistic. You have to understand. I want to get this real clear to brothers too, because like I said, I've never been outside the country, and I went to Japan for the first time, and I was so used to Western women and brothers in the West, especially America. I'm from America. You can understand what I'm about. You can vouch for what I'm about to say. In the comments, let me know if y'all relate or if y'all understand what I'm trying to say. If you check a girl, let's say you're at the mall, at the club, at a bar, whatever, and if you eye a girl, right, and she looks at you, you know instantly whether she's into you or not, whether the door is open for you to walk up and approach, whatever you need to say, blah blah blah, because she'll look back at you and she'll keep looking at you, or if you look away, she'll look back right after that, right? Or if you wink at her, she'll smile or blush, or if you smile at her, she'll smile back. She'll give you some sort of indication immediately whether she is open for business or not. Now, in Japan, it's not like that. She might in the States, in the West, she might even approach you. It's not like that in the West, in Japan. In Japan, because of their culture and because they're so unsure about foreigners, especially black men, because there's not a lot of black foreigners over there, brothers. And if they are, they're mostly African. And I told ITP this before, but Africans and brothers from the West were very, very, very different. And around the world, they know the difference between Africans and brothers from the West. But anyway, in Japan, brothers, if she's interested, she's not gonna make it overtly known. Usually, if she's interested or not. This is why dating apps are so prevalent and so important. Because when you see a Japanese girl out, she's gonna look at you. I mean, as 8 times out of 10, she's gonna look at you, regardless if she's interested or not. And that's the problem. You don't know. You might not know whether she's looking at you because she's interested in you, or she's just in awe that there's actually a black person around her. Because, like I said, it's 98% Japanese. It's a very homogenistic society in Japan, brothers. So you have to be able to figure the difference out, and it's very, very hard to tell, right? And then Japanese women kind of want you to pursue them. Just women in the West do too, but the difference is, brothers, women in the West ain't worth pursuing 9 times out of 10. Of course, there's a few here and there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to to crap on all Western women because there's some good women everywhere. But 9 times out of 10, women in the West ain't worth pursuing. In Japan, they're definitely worth pursuing. So brothers, yes, they are checking for brothers, but at the same time, there's percentages of women brothers in every society that are not interested in dating outside of their race and culture. That's just the way it is. Everybody knows that. In the West, not every there's a huge percentage of white girls that only are into black dudes, but then there's also some white girls that just ain't interested in nothing but white boys because that's all they know. That's just their culture. Same thing everywhere, brothers. There's a large percentage of women that are only interested in dating men in their culture and in their race. That's just the way it is since the beginning of time, and that's fine. But there is a percentage of women that are interested in foreigners, that are interested in people of other cultures, that are interested in people of other races. And for those women, they're definitely 100% into black men. Sorry, that's a
Inc-
long-winded IP.
oh, that was an incredible intro there. So, these Osaka women, right? Tell me about their personality, brother, because I've heard they're very different from Tokyo women. Tell me more about these Osaka women, brother.
It's just the same as all the rest of the people IP in Japan, in Osaka and Tokyo. They're just more. They're it's I don't even want to say more friendly because they're friendly in Tokyo too, but it's just they're more laid back. They're not as on the go like they are in Tokyo. Like I said, in Tokyo, people are trying to get from point A to point B in a hurry, so they're always in a rush, 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 rush. But yeah, and brothers, again, I was only there 3 weeks, so take my stuff, and you can learn from it. But at the same time, I didn't have that much time to learn the game and to learn about the women in Japan. If I had a lot more time, trust me, I'm not bragging or anything, but I do very, very well. I always have my whole life in America. So figuring women out that's second nature to me. So I would have been able to give y'all more information had I stayed longer. And I do plan on going back, and I am going to stay longer than 3 weeks this time. I'll probably stay 2 or 3 months. Um, but yeah, the women in Osaka, brothers, they're just more. They're not as on the go. I don't know how else to explain it. They're just a lot more relaxed and chill than the women in Tokyo. But they're both friendly. They're both help you. Sumasen, Shibuya doko desu ka? Oh yeah. And then they'll try their best to speak English, and then that's when you say, "Oh, your English is so good," and then they smile and laugh, and then now y'all got something to talk about. No, no, then you get a conversation going, and boom, you can tell either she's with it or she's not. And if she's not gonna reject you like they do in the West. She's not gonna try to embarrass you or humiliate you or be mean to you. She's just gonna you'll know by what she says, and then you go about your business. Arigato gozaimasu, and then you go about your way. But yeah, brother, Osaka women, they're just more chill, just like the people in Osaka in terms of Tokyo.
Awesome. Does cold approach work there in Osaka? Can you cold approach Osakan women? If so, brother, what was your method in cold approaching? How did you speak to them? What did you say to get the number or the contacts? Break it down for us.
Yeah, so I cold approached them. I just would go up to them, sumasen, and then I would ask where something is, even though I already know where it is. I just want to see if she's down to tell me or show me. And yeah, just ask for directions somewhere in Japanese. Depending on the friendliness of her response, I go from there. Um, Ask her is how her day has been. Get small conversation like that. And then I learned this too, brothers. I don't have social media, so it's kind of harder for me because people want to give you their Instagram before they give you their phone number, which is understandable because a phone number is a lot more personal. But I don't have Instagram, so I had to just directly ask for Line, which is basically their, I don't know, their WhatsApp or their, that's how they message over there. They don't even use phone numbers. I mean, really like that over in Japan. They use this app called Line in Japan. And so I would just directly ask for Line. And it is a little bit, in depending on the person, it might be viewed as a little intrusive, but I don't have Instagram. They say, oh, Instagram. I said, I don't have Instagram. And then that would be basically the end of that. But yeah, it's easy to approach Japanese women, man. It was hard at first simply because I did not understand that the differences in terms of women in the West. If they're interested, they're gonna make it known they're interested. But the women in Japan, it's not like they might be interested and walk right by you and never look back at you again. That's just how they are in Japan. their culture is to never make an outsider feel unwelcome, to be as helpful as possible, to be as nice as possible, and to not bother anyone. That's just Japanese culture, even amongst themselves. They don't. I understand why their birth rates are not doing well right now. It's because people are so reclusive and so to themselves, that they don't verbally communicate really at all. In the streets, I never saw anybody walk up to anyone and talk. Um, so they Japanese women might be interested, but because of their culture, they're not, they might not show it, is basically what I'm saying. So
Incredible breakdown. So let me tell you what I want in a woman, brother.
yeah,
In my stage in my life, I'm looking for a woman that's submissive,
of
feminine,
course, of course,
virgin
of
slash low body
course,
count.
of course.
I want cooperation. I want her to allow me to lead in the household. I don't want no problems. I don't want no clapping back. Listen to what I say. That's my commands. Of course, voice your opinion. That's cool. But ultimately, when it comes to big decisions, I want to make that decision as a man.
Absolutely,
That's how it
absolutely.
has been. Has how it always should be. I want a woman that wears long dresses, right? Covers her legs, covers her chest, covers her arms. I don't want to see no cleavage. I don't want to see no skin. I want you covered, right? As if you're a Muslim woman, even though you ain't Muslim. Okay. can,
So
can I
basically, IP,
can I
what you're
find that
describing
in
is you
Osaka?
want a Japanese woman, my brother.
Oh, can I? But can I find out in Osaka though, brother?
Man, IP, man, me and you want the same thing in a woman, man. And before I say this, brothers, you need to understand that you don't deserve to have that type of woman if you ain't got your stuff together. Let's get that established first. You cannot be the man in the house and not be able to pay the bills. You can't be the man in the house and not be able to lead your woman. You can't be the man and not be able to have something to teach your woman. You can't be the man and not be able to guide your woman, brothers. So you have to get yourself together first to be able to have all that other stuff. Let's, like, brothers Pookie and Ray Ray think that they can just go overseas and get a woman to bow down to them and then come back over here and it's all good. No, you got to have your stuff in order first. So if brothers don't have their stuff in order first, you don't even need to be thinking about going overseas to get a woman. You don't even need to be thinking about having a woman, period, until you have yourself together. I just want to say that first before we talk about, feminine women and submissive women and all that,
Of
because that's
course.
very, very, very important. Of course, everybody falls on hard times, brothers, and you might need help from time to time financially. But overall, you should be the one that's helping her. You should be the one that's in the lead. You should be the one that makes the decisions. Women are very, very attractive to men that are very decisive. You ask a woman what she wants to eat, and she'll say, I don't know. You name 6 places, she says no to all of them. Women are extremely indecisive. So you have to be the one with confidence and the one to be able to lead her, just like having children. You should not be having kids if you don't have anything to teach those kids. Anyway, I don't mean to get sidetracked, but brothers got to. I've seen it. I just see a lot of that on the internet. Brothers talk about, I'm gonna go here and get me a woman. I'm gonna go there, and the women should be submissive. The women should know their place, and they should, obey because I'm the man. You ain't no man. You have to be a man first, and then the woman will follow you. She'll want to follow you, brothers. I'm not being arrogant, but I've had my fair share of women. Every single one of them want to be submissive. They just can't find a man to be submissive to, because the men that they pursue, and it's their fault because they choose these men, but they're not worthy of being submissive to because they don't have anything to teach them. They don't have their own stuff together. So why should she be submissive to you? What? Because you got a penis? No. But anyway, yes, brother, you can find a wife anywhere in Japan. Anywhere in Japan. I went to Yokohama, I went to Kyoto, I went to Kobe, I went to Osaka, I went to Tokyo. But you asked me specifically about Osaka. Yes, sir. Osaka, man, everything you got to. There's a lot of different things about Japanese women, right? As far as are they submissive? Absolutely. Are they feminine? 1,000%. The way they dress, brothers, in Japan, it is one of the sexiest things I've ever seen. The women in Japan will dress. They will not show their breasts. They will not show their butt. They will not show off anything. Now, don't get me wrong. You might be a Saturday night. You might be out at the club, and they might have a skirt on, but it's not going to be super short where her panties are showing like in the States. If you're talking about everyday women, like, Monday through Friday during the day, walking around, whatever, they're going to be very, very sexy dressed. But the thing is they're not showing any cleavage. They're not dressed sexual. They're very modest, But the reason why it's attractive is to me is because it's so feminine. They wear really pretty dresses. They wear flats. Their hair looks very great. They have like if they have on makeup, it's not too much makeup. It's just right, or they might not have any makeup on at all. They are so feminine dressing in Japan. They don't want to be men like the Western women. They're not looking to compete with men. They don't have a problem with men. They're very, very comfortable in being feminine in Japan, brother.
Incredible, incredible, fantastic, awesome. Now, let's wrap up the Osaka part. But is there anything else you want to mention about Osaka that's important for the brothers before going to Tokyo?
Uh, just that you if you go to Japan, you gotta go to Osaka. Period, man. Osaka is everything in terms of entertainment, food, women, things to go see, things to do. Osaka has it all, just like Tokyo has it all, brothers. It's just a matter of do you want to be around more people, really? I mean, that's just and things are spread out more. But man, yeah, Osaka is definitely the place to be, in my opinion. I love Osaka. Um, and as far as body count goes, this goes for. Do you want me to get to that now, IP, or you want me to wait until we talk about Tokyo because it applies to all Japanese women?
Okay, let's do it for after we speak about Tokyo.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
Awesome, awesome, bro. So let's go on to Tokyo now. Before we do so, right, in terms of leisure activity, brother, I know you're an anime dude, but including anime and the sightseeing, what should brothers go to in Osaka for sightseeing purposes, leisure and entertainment, brother?
Oh man, everywhere. Like, I, brothers, I did this. My first day in Osaka, my first full day. I literally just left my hotel at like 8 in the morning and just went and walked around the city. I went to even the brothers. It's so cool that even their 7-Elevens are different. Like you walk in, Ohio gozaimasu. You walk in, that's what you hear from the cashier. You go looking for your stuff. They have different candy over there, amazing candy over there. Tastes delicious, way different from candy in the States. Their
Black
food.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh,
No doubt,
brother,
IP, no doubt,
I,
man,
I
no
was
doubt.
I was I was eating Black Thunder every day, bruv. That chocolate is amazing, bruv. Oh my goodness.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, to get back to the questions, brothers. To what to do, just walk around Shinsaibashi is in Osaka. Walk around there. You can spend days in just Shinsaibashi alone because there's countless clubs, countless bars, countless countless sites. Um, I mean, sites to go, Ferris wheels. I mean, just all kind of stuff, man. You guys, I would recommend what I did is I just looked up things to do in Osaka, things to do in Tokyo on YouTube, and there's just tons of things to do, man. There's aquariums, there's all kind of stuff in Osaka to do, and you're gonna need to take the train, brothers, unless you find you a shorty out there with a car, which is cool. Um, but yeah, take the train, and the train is super inexpensive, man. When I say super inexpensive, I mean it might be $2 to travel 30 miles. Like it might be $3 to travel 30 miles, man. But what you do, brothers, is you get a little prepaid card at the train station, put some money on it, and then you just go place to place, man. But brothers, I wouldn't recommend saying, okay, I'm gonna go here, 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 and here. Of course, you can do that, and that's cool. But in the meantime, just walk around. Just see their architecture. That's another thing that I love about Japan and that attracted me to Japan. The architecture, brothers. Just look at the buildings and how differently crafted they're made, and appreciate the art. Din Din Town is a place to go if you love anime. I'm a huge anime fan. Dragon Ball Z is the goat to me, and Yu Yu Hakusho, huge. But I love all anime. I love Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, Cowboy Bebop, Inuyasha, Samurai Champloo, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, all of it. So man, I'm a huge anime nerd. So Din Din Town is good if you love anime, man. Um, Dotonbori is cool. Umeda is dope. USJ. If you go to Osaka, you have to go to USJ. USJ is Universal Studios in Osaka. It is probably the funnest time I ever had in my life, man. I went with my guy I met that's from the UK. I met him at a pub crawl, and we went 2 days. We went to USJ, and it was like I think it's like $65 USD a day, something around there. Um, and I went twice. He got the annual pass. He got the yearly pass. And that's another thing too, brothers, which I didn't understand is you'll see a lot of teenagers there in their school uniforms, but they just have the annual pass and they just go there to hang out after school all the time. So you'll see a bunch of kids from school, teenagers just hanging out. But USJ, if you go to Japan, brothers, you got to go to USJ. It's one of the funnest things to do there. They got Super
Awesome,
Mario.
awesome.
You should YouTube it, brothers. It has Super Mario World in there, and then they got all kind of rides. They have seasonal stuff. They had a Jujutsu Kaisen ride, and it just got replaced by a One Piece ride. They got Harry Potter World in there. They got the Spider-Man ride. They got all kind of stuff, man. You got to go to USJ if you go to Osaka. If you go to Japan.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, bro. Now let's move on to the Tokyo segment. So, in Tokyo, brother, where were you staying in Tokyo, brother?
I stayed in Roppongi.
Oh, the foreigner
Yeah,
spot. Okay.
no doubt, no doubt.
So, was that a hotel, Airbnb?
No, it was a hotel. I forgot the name of the hotel. It wasn't nearly as fancy as the one in Osaka, and it wasn't nearly as expensive. I think it was like $60 a night there, maybe something like that. It was a decent hotel. It wasn't anything special. It was decent.
Awesome, awesome. And brothers, feel free to get the likes up and show some support. Hit the PayPal donations, hit the super chats. Make sure you definitely get the likes up. We have over 100 people watching. There should be 100 likes, man. At least like the video. And of course, if you can support by hitting the super chats or the PayPal, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, you must super chat or cash up. You must super chat or PayPal your questions for our guests and for myself to read and answer your questions. Okay. Unless you wait until the phone lines open up later on. So
Hey,
awesome, brother.
IP, real
Yeah.
quick, real quick. It's 100 people watching this, brothers. Can we get the likes up, brothers? Please get the likes up, brothers. International passport here. Got my. It's your dude. International passport. Get the likes up, brothers.
Hey man, we got a kamikaze here, brothers. All right, so going on from there, brother, right? So you were in Roppongi, right? Would you say that was a good spot for brothers to put their accommodation in, brother, or should we stay away from that place in your opinion?
Nah, man, Roppongi's cool, bro. If you want to stay in Roppongi, man, ain't nothing wrong with it. I think all the cities in Tokyo is cool to stay in. Roppongi, if I stayed in Tokyo again, I would probably stay in Roppongi just because it's a little bit less expensive than Shibuya. Shibuya is my favorite part of Tokyo, though.
Amazing, amazing. So let's go on from there, brother. So you were in Roppongi, you were in a hotel there, you love it there. Tell us your favorite spots in Tokyo, bro, because Tokyo is very big. What did you love about Tokyo? And tell us your mini spots there, Shibuya, etc., etc.
Yeah, man. So I went everywhere. I went to Roppongi, Shibuya, Shinjuku. I mean, I went everywhere, man. Tokyo Tower was really cool to go to. I would recommend going to Tokyo Tower just to see and I went there by accident. I didn't even go there on purpose. I was in Roppongi and I could see Tokyo Tower from my hotel. So I was like, man, that's Tokyo Tower. Like I was again, you gotta remember, man, I've never been outside my country. So just being in seeing these places all over the internet and then finally seeing them in person, it's just so surreal. So I just walked from my hotel to Tokyo Tower. That's a dope place to go, man, just to see the architecture and then see the history. They got video packages. They got this cool thing where there's two paintings on the wall, brothers, and this sounds crazy, but the paintings they start talking to one another and they tell the history of the Tokyo Tower. It's the two men that built it, and it looks so like the paintings look like actual paintings, and or pictures rather. They look like old pictures from like the 40s or 30s, and then they start talking to each other about how the building was made and things like that. And it was beautiful. Shibuya is my favorite, but Shibuya is probably, I would say Shibuya is the Times Square. Shibuya Crossing is Times Square of Japan, brothers. I've never been to New York City or New York at all, but I've seen it, of course, in tons of movies my whole life and all over the internet and all over YouTube. And from what I've seen, New York City is pretty similar to Tokyo. It's just Tokyo is a million times cleaner. Yeah, man, Shinjuku was cool. I went and watched I watched Fast X in Shinjuku, but I watched the dang Japanese version by accident, which was pretty funny. And Japanese people was smiling at me as I was like waiting for the theater to be clean. There was a little line, and all the Japanese people were smiling at me, and I was like thinking, like, man, why are they all smiling? And so I go into the movie theater, and it's in all Japanese. And I'm like, oh, that's why they smiling. It wasn't. I didn't get to watch the sub version. I accidentally watched the dub version. So that was funny. This Japanese girl was smiling at me. I was gonna holler, but her dad was with her, so I didn't. Her old dad, this old dude, was with her. Uh, but
How
yeah,
did you
I
watch that
was.
movie? So was it in English? Sorry,
No,
with
that's the.
Japanese
It
dub
was in
or English
Japanese.
subs?
My stupid brain, right? I watch anime so much that I watch it. I know a lot of people might not like this like anime, but I watch anime dubbed. So when I went to buy my ticket for Fast X, I saw Fast X dubbed. I'm gonna watch the dub. But my dumb brain was like, it'll be in English. No, dummy, it's dubbed to be in Japanese because you're in Japan. So I ended up watching the whole movie in Japanese, but it was still cool. You know, I was able to follow along a little bit here and there. So yeah, that
How
was
did you
cool.
how did you follow along, brother? Was it like English subs or no
No,
English subs?
it wasn't subbed at
Oh
all.
wow.
It was completely in Japanese. I could just follow along with the plot because I knew what the plot was about, and then I know a little bit of Japanese here and there, so I was able to pick up a word here and there, and then it was pretty easy to follow along. I know what happened in the movie and everything.
Fantastic, fantastic. So tell us more about Tokyo people, how they are compared to Osaka. Break it down for us, bro.
Yeah, Tokyo. I mean, Japanese people in general, man, they just that's what I'm saying. IP, they're like the friendliest, coolest people that you could ever want to be around. Like, don't get me wrong, they might be nice and it might be fake. Like like I said, Japanese people are not going to overtly tell you what they think or what they feel because it's not cool to stand out and be different in Japan. It's it's not that's not in their culture. It's bad to do that. You want to fall in line. You want to be a spoke on the wheel. You want to fall in line with everybody else, and that's how Japanese people are. So Japanese people, man, it's in their culture to make outsiders feel welcome. Like they want to make you feel welcome. But yeah, man, as far as the differences between Osaka and Tokyo people, it's just like I said, man, Tokyo people are just more on the go. It's just more fast paced. It's more I got somewhere to be. I got somewhere to be. I got somewhere to be. So they're always on the move. But I mean, they're cool. They just you can tell that you should not waste their time because they have somewhere to be. But they're very nice too. It isn't. It's different, but it isn't different to the point where I would never go back to Tokyo. I mean, I'll go visit Tokyo anytime. I mean, like I said, Osaka is better to me, just my opinion. But I love Tokyo too, man, because of the culture.
Amazing, amazing. So, next question for you, bro, right, is now in terms of transportation, and I missed that part for Osaka as well. So, how did you move around in both Osaka and Tokyo? And what's your recommendation for brothers?
It's the same, man. Just take the train, brothers. It's super inexpensive. I would say put 2,000 yen on a Suica card, which is the prepaid cards they have over there for their trains. Put 2,000 yen on there, which is like I would say 18 USD, and you'll be good to go for a little while. I would say I don't know, depending on how much you do, you could be good for a whole week and a half, maybe. Um, I would just use the train, brothers. Don't use the taxis; they're more expensive, and there's no need for them. If you can't, it's just if you just walk too, man. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with walking. I walked the whole time I was there. I mean, other than getting from big place to big place, I walked around, man, and it was hot. It was end of June, early July, mid June when I was over there. It wasn't like it wasn't August. It wasn't super duper hot, but 80, 85, 90, but it's worth it, man. Just yeah, definitely in both places, train 100%, 10 out of 10.
Awesome, awesome.
And real quick, the
Um,
trains, brothers, they're not like the trains I've seen on TV in New York City. They're the cleanest, most pristine. Now they're packed sometimes. There's going to be a lot of people, but every single person on that train, nobody's going to talk on that train. It's going to be basically a library. It's going to be super quiet, and people are super on their phone or in a book or in the newspaper. I, I recorded so many people not I recorded so many people over there falling asleep on the train. Like it's funny. You see it all the time, man. But yeah, brothers, don't use the train 100%.
awesome, bro. What about the food in Tokyo? How's that like, brother?
Man, it's Japanese food, man. It's delicious. Tokyo food is delicious, brothers. I went to this I wouldn't say I see base pill clips, Tokyo vibes seem more energetic. It's not, bro. It's not more energetic than Osaka. I would say that it's not less. Don't get me wrong. Tokyo is super energetic, especially at night. But it's just Osaka is just as energetic, brother. I promise you. The Club Giraffe in Osaka, brothers. I'm telling you, is crazy. If you go over there, you gotta promise me you're going to Club Giraffe in Osaka. It's it's crazy, brothers. Club Giraffe and Club Pure, crazy. But anyways, Tokyo food, man, delicious. Um, I mean everything. That's where I went to that sushi place that had food coming down on a conveyor belt to your table, and which is it was my favorite restaurant. I went to a lot of different restaurants. I went to this one restaurant that was by my hotel. It was inside of another hotel, but the other hotel was like 1,000, like almost 1,000 USD a night. It was like the highest hotel in Roppongi, like the most expensive. And I had a dinner there. Funny little story, real quick, IP. I was at the restaurant, and the restaurant is like expensive, like really expensive, but it's not overly priced like in the States. It's worth what you're getting. I paid 80 something dollars for my dinner. Sounds expensive, I know, but it was worth it, brothers. Just trust me. So when I got to my table, I they had they had wine for me already, which I don't drink. So I mean, I didn't drink the wine, but they had it for me. It was complimentary. I think that the people there thought I was a basketball player or a rapper, because they was trying to stand around me. They was trying to talk to me. And so I ordered my steak. It was wafu beef or whatever it's called. It was the highest beef they had. I ordered my steak, my mashed potatoes, my asparagus. And then a family came in and they sat down, I would say, probably 20 feet in front of me, right? The restaurant is a big restaurant, but in the center of the restaurant, there's a platform. And on that platform, it's shaped like a circle. I wish I remember what the restaurant was called. I'll be able to figure it out later. But it's a circle in a platform, and and only a few tables in that circle. The rest of the restaurant, it's all the same, but for some reason they have a platform in the middle of it. And so they brought me to that platform. I guess if they think that somebody's a celebrity or a person of importance, they bring them to the platform. They sit there and eat. So I'm eating. I look up, and oh, they bring you special salt too, like different flavored salts and all this charcoal salt and then smoked salt and then all these sweet salt and all this rich stuff that I didn't even care about. I just used some regular salt. Anyway, so there's a family that was sitting 20 feet in front of me. Every time I look up, the mom is looking at me. And when I look at her, she looks away and starts smiling, right? So I look up, boom, she does it again. I look up a few minutes later, she does it again. And I'm just like, man, she keep looking. And so like eventually I noticed that the mom's mom turned around. She was facing the opposite direction. She turned around in her seat and was looking at me. Then her kids started looking at me. And a lot of brothers in the States, they would take offense to that. Like, man, why are you staring at me? Oh, that's racist. It wasn't nothing like that, brothers. They pulled their phones out, started taking pictures of me. I waved at them and they laughed and waved back at me. It's because they had never seen, it was one of the coolest things ever. It's because they'd never seen, I'm assuming it's because they hadn't seen a black man in this prestigious, super duper expensive restaurant, and they were just excited to see a black guy. Because again, brothers, you have to understand, it's 98% Japanese over there. Some Japanese people go their entire life without seeing one black person. So they weren't. It wasn't a mean racist vibe. Like I walked by them and I said, "Saranara," and they said, "Oh, Saranara, Saranara, Sokoi." Like it was cool, man. It's cool.
Amazing, bro.
And yes, there are cheating wives in Japan for sure, in the culture, and husbands too, man. Mostly wives though.
Before we touch upon that, brother, how did Wagyu beef taste like, bro?
Man, it's amazing. I don't know how else to put it. It melts in your mouth almost, man. It's Kobe beef and Wagyu beef, man. That stuff is delicious, man. It was awesome. And nah, it wasn't racist at all. Like I see dude commenting that it wasn't racist, brother. It's just it would be they don't see it. It's like a unicorn. They're amazed. They're like, oh my gosh. And even if they was, I don't care. They didn't do nothing bad to me. They was nice as me, waving and smiling. Why am I gonna be angry about that?
So my question here, right, is
Mm.
Wagyu beef, right? Was it seasoned or is it plain? Or is it seasoned?
Um, no, it was seasoned. Yeah, it was seasoned. It was
Okay.
seasoned. Yeah.
I need to try next time I go to Japan. I've heard some good things about it. Okay, that'll be my list. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Um,
Hey, I'll try to get that name of that restaurant too, brother, for you, and I'll send it to you sometime.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Next question for you, bro, is cost of living in Tokyo, right? Was that expensive? As expensive as America? As expensive as Osaka? Was it cheaper than America, Tokyo? Break down the cost of living for us, brother, for buying stuff
Tokyo's
there, food. Go on.
yeah, yeah. Tokyo's a little bit more expensive, but it's not by much. When I say a little bit more, I mean literally barely more expensive. Um, so that goes pretty much for everything. And it's because it's Tokyo, brothers. So yeah, Tokyo's a little bit more expensive, but it's not expensive to where you can't live there. Like if you make a decent living in America, you can live in let's say you make 50,000 USD a year in America, you can live in Tokyo. Now, you might have to stretch it sometimes, but yeah.
Okay. Now, what about, brother, right? In terms of safety, brother, in Tokyo, is it safe there for brothers?
Definitely. Tokyo's still Japan, man. It's safe. It's safe in Tokyo for brothers, man. I mean, like I said earlier, don't be dumb, don't do nothing stupid, but of course, be aware of your surroundings at all times, no matter where you go, no matter if you're going to the hood in America or you go to, the richest, most comfortable place. You always got to be vigilant. Brothers have to stay vigilant and be aware of the surroundings. But yeah, man, it's Japan. It's crime happens, of course, everywhere, but Japan is it's a great place to be, man, as far as safety goes.
What about in terms of racism? Did you feel any racism there in Tokyo from anyone?
Zero, zero. It wasn't racist at all, man. There was no racist interactions. Everybody was cool, man. Everybody was super welcome. I think IP, man. Japan it's almost its own planet. It seems like I have to get more experience with traveling in other countries. IP, but like I said, since it's 98% Japanese over there, man, it's like they operate in Japanese isn't spoke anywhere outside of Japan, so it's like they have their own world over there. And so when someone from not in their world comes and visits their world, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is this is amazing. Like I had people, a couple Japanese guys show you love, man. They're like, oh, so good, your hair is so nice. So I have dreadlocks. So it's so nice, so nice. Things like that, man. When they get friendly and talking, like I said, I got a story from Osaka about some drunk Japanese dudes that was one of the funniest things that happened to me. But yeah, man, nah, no racism in Japan. I mean, I'm sure there is. There's racist people everywhere, man. People that are prejudiced. And brothers have to understand too, real quick, IP. Brothers have to understand too that brothers, you have to understand that America is basically a movie for the rest of the world. It's a TV show for the rest of the world. The rest of the world looks to the West and looks to America as what's cool, what's hip, how to be, how to behave. Not so much UK because they got their own thing, but I'm talking like outside of the West. And so they portray the black man in Western movies and music and TV shows as thugs, gangsters, rapists, murderers. They constantly portray us in a negative light. So people that have never even met black people are scared of black people or don't like black people. But it's just because of how we're portrayed. And then also we don't do ourselves any favors when we emphasize those negative portrayals. You know what I'm saying? When we like that one dude I forgot what the dummy's name was, but he went over there and disrespected all those black people, that streamer that disrespected all those Japanese people on the train. It's
Yeah.
idiots like that give up that make us look bad. So nah, in terms of racism, man, in Japan, nah, man, Japan's mad cool.
Now, let's go on to the woman's part, brother. In terms of Tokyo, right? Are the women in Tokyo checking for brothers? Did they show you love like they did in Osaka, or was it different kind of love there, bro, in Tokyo?
It was pretty much the same, man. They Tokyo, dude, Japanese women, man, as a whole, dog. I don't know. Maybe it just ain't nothing like it, man. They just mad cool. Um, they want to help. You know, if you have a question, they want to help you. They 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 might even be hoping for an interaction with you, but they don't want to initiate it because they don't want to make you feel awkward. They don't want to make you feel unwelcome. They don't want to make you feel like an outsider. So they might not act on that. But especially if you get if Japanese people start drinking, it's a whole different ball game now. Then it's way different now. So, but yeah, man, the Tokyo women, just like Osaka women, they checking for brothers. Like I said earlier, IP, it's about that percentage of women that are curious to men that are outside of their race or outside of their culture, right? You know, you have some people that just won't, that haven't ever considered and won't ever consider dating outside their culture, and that's okay. They're not racist. They're not, ain't it? That's just their preference. They don't want to do that. But then you have a lot of people that don't mind it, and then you have some people that outright fetishize it. So yeah, man, they as IP would say, they're checking for brothers.
Fantastic, man. But when we compare, right, Tokyo woman to Osaka woman, brother,
Mm.
right, which is better in your opinion? Who's more classier? Who, in your opinion, would have a lower body count? Who's more wifeable between those two women? I know it's hard there, but give it to one group of women: Tokyo woman or Osaka woman. Who do you prefer, brother? And tell us why.
Hmm. I mean, IP man, I would. It's not so clear cut, man. Like you might. It's basically it's just it's not one over the other, I would say, because Osaka is similar to Tokyo as far as busy, partying, loud, club. So you're going to get into the same shenanigans no matter which place you go. It's just Tokyo is more people, so there might be a higher likelihood of doing A, B, and C. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of an unfair question because it's not, as you know, there's no set in stone. And then on top of that, there's not much difference in terms of the women. How they dress is the same to me. Um, because Tokyo is the capital and it's like the most happening, if you will, city in Japan, you might see. Uh, I think I saw one Japanese girl in leggings that was jogging, but other than that, they don't wear leggings, man. They don't wear and it might be it's multiple things of why they don't dress like that. They don't dress like that for one because a lot of people don't know, but and this isn't all Japanese people, brother, so don't get it twisted. But Japanese people have a lot of them, not all of them, but they have a high. They're very insecure about themselves and about their standings in the world. So they a lot of them do um, worship, you know, the white man, and a lot of them do want
Mm,
something outside of their own culture and race. You know what I'm saying? So there's a book, brothers, that you should read if you're interested in Japan called Black Passenger Yellow Cab. Um, and it is I forgot the name of the brother. It's about a Jamaican brother who goes to Japan.
yep,
Uh,
I interviewed him, bro. He's on my
oh yeah,
Patreon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You did. I remember that. I saw that. You absolutely right, IP. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. He had glasses on. No, nine. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was a very that we did a 4 hour interview. Go on the Patreon, brother, check it out because he's currently living in Japan and he gave us the up to date 2023 intel. He kind of exposed the true Japan. I interviewed him, Stephen Bryan. Go
yeah.
and check out the interview on my Patreon. It is golden. It is what I used to prepare me for Japan, and everything he said there was correct. So go on my Patreon and check that out, brothers.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw the 5 minute version on YouTube that you did with him. And yeah, I will check it out on your Patreon. But brothers, it's from Tokyo to Osaka. I mean, as far as the women go, it's basically the same. Being honest with you, at least for me, like I said, I was only there 3 weeks. Maybe I missed something, and I'm definitely going back. So I'm gonna definitely do some more hands-on research, if you will. So we'll see.
awesome, bro. So, couple more questions before I open up the phone lines. The cheating culture in Japan, right, is a problem, bro. Right? I know you were there for a couple of weeks, right? But you did mention earlier in the stream that it is there. Um, so tell us your thoughts about the cheating culture in Japan, bro. 'Cause it is a big problem, but I want to hear your thoughts about it, brother.
It's different, man. Japanese people don't view sex the same way Westerners view sex. Um, and like that. By the way, brothers, that book, man, it opened your eyes to a lot. It's called Black Passenger Yellow Cab. You can get it on Amazon for like 13 USD. You got to read that book. It's very interesting, and it still holds true a lot to current day uh, Japanese culture and inner dynamics between men and women. But yeah, so cheating, Japanese women, I mean, it's just not seen as big of a deal as it is in the West. And Japanese men, sometimes they know that their wife is cheating, but they don't care. Like, not all of them, of course. You don't ever want to generalize like that, but sometimes the Japanese men don't care. I think that the Japanese woman, like on the black man, I don't think the Japanese woman would cheat on the black man because she's gonna be getting what she needs. Because you have to understand this, brothers, too. This goes to women in general. Men and women cheat, brothers. It's not the same when a woman cheats as when a man cheats. They're both wrong. But when a man cheats, he just wants extra vagina. It's not personal to his woman, usually, 9 times out of 10. And for women, they usually cheat because it's a reaction to what the man is or isn't doing. That he wasn't around enough, or he was around too much, or he didn't work at all he did was work, or we never had sex, or all he wanted to do was have sex, or he cheated on me, so I cheated on him. Women don't Men want we just want random, who is this vagina? We don't care who it even is.
Box.
My apologies. My apologies. I'll be box. But 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 women, when they cheat, it's usually, not all the time, but it's usually out of reaction of what their man is or isn't doing. So if a Japanese woman gets with a black man, I don't think she's going to be as apt to cheat, because the Japanese man, to please your woman, it's not really a high, not all of them, of course, but in general, pleasing your woman is not that high of a priority in Japan for Japanese men, especially used to not be at all. Now Japanese men are starting to get back to that, but and then just not being there for your woman emotionally. Japanese people are some of the most depressed people on the planet. If you look up their depression rates, suicide rates, Japanese people are very, as a whole, are very, very depressed, and it's because of their reclusive nature. They're very to themselves. And I'll give you even another story. I went to Club Giraffe in Osaka, and I went to some clubs in Shibuya as well, which was crazy. But and I went to Club Giraffe, which is probably my favorite club in Osaka, right? And so, yes, Ozzy, Japanese men do eat box. Anyway, so I went to Club Giraffe, and in America, brothers, men and women in the club, you might say, I go to a club, right, in my hometown. I'll go to the club, I'll be with my boys, right? And then I'll go to the dance floor and I'll start dancing, and a girl might start dancing on me, and within 5 minutes of being in a club, a girl's dancing on me, right? And all it might just be dancing, or you might be able to pursue something with that, right? But in Japan, you go to the club, you don't just see men and women dancing on each other. You see a group of friends, which be all women. Let's say there's four over, and it'll be throughout the entire club, brothers. 4 men over here, 8 men over there, 6 girls here, 7 girls here, 3 girls here, 4 guys there, and they're all separated in their own groups, and they're not dancing on each other. They're just dancing. And I understand why the birth rate is not doing well in Japan. It's because nobody initiates contact. It's like the opposite of the States. Like, women are slutty and men will smash anything. So it's constantly happening, right? But over in Japan, the men don't have the confidence to pursue the woman. And then the woman wants to be pursued. So nothing ever happens. And that's in all the clubs I went to. It was like that. Don't get me wrong. There's exceptions to every rule, brothers. But most of the time, when I went to the club, I hardly ever saw a Japanese woman dancing on. I never saw a Japanese woman dance on a Japanese guy ever, unless they were a couple. I never saw that happen, and you could tell if they're a couple or not. And then if I did see a Japanese girl dancing with somebody, it was always a foreigner, because foreigners will have the courage to just go and just try to dance on a girl. They don't. It ain't that big of a deal. So I know this started from cheating, IP, but it's very important for brothers to understand the why and the how in terms of their culture. That's just how they are. That's their culture is to not inconvenience another person. It's to always say to yourself, don't bother nobody. That's why nobody talks on trains. That's why strangers never talk to one another. And that's why the depression rates are so high. Suicide rates are high. I mean, they have this term. I forgot what the term is. Y'all brothers can Google it. But they have a term because this happens so much. Japanese people died in their homes and nobody knows for weeks. You know, that there's a term for it. I forgot what it's called, but it happens because they're not talking to each other. They're not interacting enough. So Japan, brothers, is a free reign for you to go over there and get you a woman because the women are dying to be got, and the Japanese men, they're getting better now than what they used to be, but they're not handling their business as far as the women go.
Did you see when you said they're getting better, bro? Is that what you saw out there? Did you see like there were a lot more attentive to women cold
Yeah,
approaching out there?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Not no, not so much cold approaching IP, but I saw a lot. I saw couple behavior a lot more than in that brother Stephen his book. I saw more couple behavior than what he described then. And the documentaries I watched on Japan and Japanese people, I saw just more couple behavior, and it was more open than it used to be.
but when you say couple behavior, is that holding hands?
Yeah, holding hands or sitting in each other's lap, laughing together, kissing, talking together, things like that.
What about brother? Right, in terms of like, what's the word for it? Was there a lot of lonely women by themselves in both Osaka and Tokyo?
When you say lonely women by themselves, what do you mean? Just women by themselves in general?
Women by themselves, women that look lonely, women that don't look happy, women
Oh,
that look
for
like they
sure,
need a man
definitely,
in their
and
life.
both, and both, and both. That's why I say it's wide open. It's an open market, brothers. And it's not like I said. It's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be terrible from what I read, the books that I've read on Japanese culture and why it was like that. And there's reasons why it was like that too, brothers. There's reasons why Japanese women were extremely lonely and Japanese men only focused on work, 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 and didn't care about their woman basically and treated their dog better than they treated their woman. There's reasons for that. Um, and all you gotta do is just research Japanese culture to figure it out. But yeah, brother, I was in Shinsaibashi. I walked to Daimaru, I think is what it's called, Daimaru, and it's one of the malls in Shinsaibashi. It's like 14 stories, and man, on the way there, you'd see like food places, little food. You sit down and have a little bite, and it'd be women by themselves, man, by themselves.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's an open
Be-
market for brothers to go over there.
beautiful woman. Flipping heck, bruv. Wow.
Yeah,
Um. Damn. Did you cold approach in that situation?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I just really, man, I wasn't. Women, of course, is all we men, right? So women is always on our mind. It's always there, but it wasn't like I wasn't pressed, is what I'm trying to say. So I would just say something to make them smile and make them laugh. I'll walk by them and say "sumasen," and they look up at me with their oh my god, Japanese women, man, the biggest eyes. Oh my god, so gorgeous, man. That's I don't know. That's just a turn on for me, brothers. Is the big eyes that Japanese women have. It's just the sexiest thing in the world to me. But they'll look up at me with them big old brown eyes, man. I just say "bijin dayo," and that just means you're a beautiful woman. And their jaw would drop. Arigato, arigato, oh arigato. And I just wanted to make their day. It wasn't really so much. Oh, I'm trying to get you to come back to my hotel room. Whoop, whoop. I mean, I did want that, of course, but it wasn't. I wasn't pressed. So, man, I would walk up to. And don't get me wrong, brothers. There are some Japanese women that, like I said, that don't want nothing to do with foreigners. There was twice in the 3 weeks I was there. I cold approached two women, and I said "sumasen." They looked right past me like I was a ghost. So it don't work every time, man. There's gonna be some women that don't want nothing to do with you because you're a foreigner, or they don't want nothing to do with you because you're black. And that's just the way of the world, brothers. Get over it. It ain't a big deal. If she don't like you because you're black, trust me, there's plenty of Japanese girls that want BBC and they call it that. So trust me.
Amazing. So, what other cities did you go to in Japan, bro?
The main cities, man, was just Osaka and Tokyo. I went to Kyoto, Kobe, Yokohama. Um, the Romanian chick that I knew that I met there, she lived in Yokohama, or right past Yokohama. Actually, starts with a Y though. I can't remember. Um,
Okay.
yeah, Roppongi, Harajuku, Shibuya, Shinjuku, Akihabara. I went as many places as I could, man. And there's still, brother. Japan is so big, and there's so much to do that I probably only got to do 35% of the things I wanted to do. I was there, and that's 3 weeks of being there.
Yeah, so we probably got to do a part two for Yokohama and Kobe and Kyoto. I wanted to keep this up between a 2 hour stream. So we'll do a part two later down the line, bro. Kyoto, Yokohama, Kobe, and similar stream to this, brother, in terms of culture, if that's okay with you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I don't have as much info, man, because I didn't stay. I was only there in those cities for a few hours, so I wasn't able to
Okay.
soak up. Yeah, I wasn't able to stay there. I stayed in Osaka and Tokyo, and I soaked up everything there. So, but yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do, we can even do another one just on. Man, I got stories and stories I could give you about Osaka and Tokyo. So we ain't even scratched the surface on just those two places, man.
When you say stories, is that Patreon stories, or is this in terms of like what
Nah,
kind of stories do you got?
both.
Okay. Okay.
Both. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Give us one interesting story, brother. That's PG for either Tokyo or Osaka.
Man, I'll tell you the one about the Japanese guys I met at the bar in Osaka. So I was I was just walking around, man, and basically hunting. Scoping the scenery out, and I got hungry, so I stopped at this place for takoyaki. But the place on the outside of it was takoyaki, but on the inside was a bar. Little hole in all these places look like hole in the wall joints, brothers. Just so you know, it's so different from the States, brothers. Completely different world. The bars don't look the same. The places don't look the same. I mean, it's completely different. I can't even put it in words. You just got to see it for yourself. There's tiny little hole in the wall bars that can only seat 6 people. There's ramen shops that you have to go down a tiny alleyway, up these little tiny little corridor stairs, and then it's a ramen bar that seats 6 people. So it's real different, man. It's hard to put in words for brothers to understand, but it's super different. But anyway, so I was at getting takoyaki, and he wanted me to get a fresh batch. So he had to make the whole new batch. He didn't want to give me this old stuff that been sitting there. So I'm cool though. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm on vacation. I'm chilling, right? So I sit down on this little bench right in front of. That's another thing, real quick, too, brothers. There's no benches in Tokyo and Osaka at all. Like almost, you walk. If you want to sit down, you got to sit on the ground out next to a building. Like there's almost no benches. Japanese people, I know how they stay in shape because them people be walking. Man, that stuff hurt my feet. There's like when I say no benches, I mean literally the whole time I was in Japan, I saw maybe like 3 benches the whole time. Like it was crazy. But anyway, so I sat on a little. It wasn't even a bench actually. It was like a little pottery thing, and it had like made of cement. So I sat there and waited for my takoyaki because I don't drink, like I said, but the bar was right there, but I don't drink. I had no reason to go in there. There was no females in there, so I was sitting, waiting. These 3 drunk Japanese dudes come by, and they walk by. They go, "Oh, they said whiskey or beer," and they was basically arguing over should they drink some whiskey or should they drink some beer. And me, I don't drink. I just said, uh, I just wanted to practice my Japanese. So I was like, what I say? I said, watashi wa biru suki desu, which means I like beer. And they said, oh, hi, because Japanese people, they're real impressive. You can speak Japanese. It's probably fake, but it's all good. Anyway, so they laughing and smiling at me, waving at me. Then they go inside. They went inside, man. And they said, hey, out the door because I was sitting kind of like catty quarter to the door, and they had up a beer, and I was like, oh nah, no, no, thank you. I got to go. No, thank you. And they said, no, please, come in. So I went in, and they was had me drink a little bit of a beer, and I'm still waiting on my takoyaki, and they was all trying to like talk and like get to know me because they never really met a foreigner like that. And like I said, Japanese people, man, they different when they drunk, man. So they talking to me, asking where I'm from. I asked them where they from. They asked me if I played sports. I said, yeah, I used to play sports. I played basketball, football, boxing. And they said, oh, athlete. Oh, okay. So, I got my takoyaki's ready. So I set the beer down. I maybe took a sip of it. I don't like beer anyway. So I go out back out, and I took the beer with me, and I go out, and they went out with me. Well, they went out first, and one of them stayed behind. Got my beer. I went out there, got my takoyaki. I sat down with them for a minute, started eating it, and I handed one of them the beer. And I said, "Here," and oh, for you. I said, "No, it's for you." So he held the beer, and then they talking to me some more. And I'm trying to think of a PG way to say it, but I said, they asked me again, how good I was at sports because they think all black people play sports. Of course, just a stereotype. It is what it is. So I was like, yeah, man, I play. I told them again because they was drunk. I told them again, and one of them goes, Big D, but instead of D, he said the word, uh, and so I was like, what? All of them were cracking up. He's drunk as hell. So Big D, ha ha, like, and that had me rolling. Like I was cracking up, and then I was like, man, you need to finish your beer, man. And I said it just like that in English. And he said, huh? And so I pointed at the beer. I said, you had that for a long time, man. Drink it. I said, in English. And then he just started chugging it, and then went to this bush, just started throwing up. And yeah, man, that was just a funny story. He just said Big D real loud, but he didn't say D. He said the word, and it was hilarious, man. So that's one story, man.
What about women? Give us a PG story about the woman. PG though. What about women?
Yeah. So, brothers, y'all got to watch out, man, for gaijin hunters, man. And when I say watch out for, I just mean that you can wife them if you want to, but they got a body count. They're submissive. They're everything IP that you name that you want a woman to be. They're all that except their body count ain't low. It's not Westerner body count. Don't get it twisted. It's not in the 50s and all that craziness that Western women be having. But um, I met this girl on an app, and I invited her to come, hang out with me. I was in Shinsaibashi, and she was in another part of Osaka, Umeda. She was in Umeda. That's where she was. And so she's like, no, you come to me. So I was like, all right, cool. Took the train, went over there. We walked around. It was right after I went to USJ, actually, so my feet was killing me. But brother, this Japanese girl. I know it's hard to believe. Like, I'll preface this by saying I like curvy girls, y'all. I like girls with, big breasts, big butt, thick hips, small waist, like that, big hips. That's what I'm attracted to. And obviously, Japanese girls almost never have that. So I mean, like, it's a double-edged sword. I think Japanese women are gorgeous, but I also love curves. It just sucks. So I met this girl, and in her picture, she has some big breasts. She was a thicker woman. And so I was excited to meet her, obviously, right? So I meet her, I finally meet up with her. It took us forever to meet because we was at a train station. Go here, I'm there. It was hard to meet. So we finally met. We walked around for a few minutes, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm not finna walk around in this heat with you. Like, come back. And so we was talking, and and brothers, Japanese women will make fun of Japanese men on a low. It is hilarious. Dude, I'm telling you, the things they be saying, I be feeling bad. Like, they be roasting Japanese dudes, especially if the girl speaks English. Oh my god. So anyway, we're talking, and I'm like, so, do you prefer black men? And she's like, oh, of course, black men beautiful, black men so beautiful, and all this stuff. So I'm peeping game, because, brothers, you got to watch out. There's a reason why she's saying that. Like, this ain't her first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? And you got to watch out for Japanese girls that speak English in general, brothers, because don't get me wrong, some of them, it might not mean anything. They just want to learn English, which is fine. But some of them, they want to learn English because they want to experience a foreigner. And when I say a foreigner, I don't mean just one. They want to experience many. There's a reason they know English. I'll put it that way. Like, which is hard for us because I don't want a girl that can't speak English, but at the same time, I don't want a girl with a high body count either. Not saying one goes hand in hand, but it is a probability that there's a reason why she speaks English. But anyways, so this girl spoke fluent English. So we're walking around in Umeda. I was like, yo, why don't you come back to my hotel? Before we even met, she was like, oh, we're not going to have sex. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, okay, we ain't having anyway. So I rolled my eyes to that. But anyway, so she finally comes back with me on the train. We go back to my hotel, and we have been walking around, and it's brothers, so it's extremely humid in Japan, like insanely humid. If you've been in New Orleans, brothers, in the States, it's almost as humid as New Orleans is in the summertime. It is humid. It's more humid than it is hot in Japan. So anyway, so we go back to my hotel, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take a quick shower because I've been walking around all day, all day, literally from like 9 in the morning all day, and this was like 11 at night, 10 at night. So I went, took a shower, came out. I didn't even bother to put my clothes on. I just hopped in the bed, act like I was gonna put my clothes on, didn't. Hopped in the bed. We just talking. She ain't tripping. We, getting to know each other. Whoop de whoop. Um, she she starts talking about. I'm like, so you don't, you're not attracted to Japanese men? She's like, look at me, and I look at her. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, I'm too big, and she wasn't. Japanese girls that think they're fat are not fat. It's crazy. Like Western women are fat. We talking your brothers, y'all know. Y'all see these people, y'all see these females every day, 280, 300, 250, big burly people. So she would call herself big just because she wasn't typical Japanese frame. She had thighs, she had, big breasts, huge really. She was just a thick Japanese girl. She didn't have a big butt, but she was thick and everywhere else, right? And so I'm like, no, you crazy. She's like, Japanese men don't want me. I'm like, no, what it is, I was like trying to, I was trying to game her up. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyping her up. No, what it is they're just intimidated because they have their penises are small and you just thick and they can't handle that. She's like started smiling and laughing and all this stuff. But I could tell she been here, done that. This ain't her first rodeo. So we chilling, man, and I'm like talking to her. And then she's like, "Can I take a shower?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can. Of course, you can take a shower." So yeah, we do got exactly, Shaq Fu. You said it. We got linebackers over here. The women in the West, big burly linebacking, breathing hard and breathing all. You're gonna eat that, big burly women in the West, bruh. Facts. Anyway, she goes, takes the shower, right? But while she's in the shower, she leaves her phone out. And brothers, I don't recommend doing this. I only did this because I just met her, didn't know her, didn't care about her on a deep level, of course. I had no romantic ties to her, no emotional ties to her. I was just sincerely curious. This is why I did this. It wasn't on no simp stuff. Like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Wasn't like that. I didn't care. I just, for research purposes, because I knew I was going to be hollering at my boy IP. So, what I did this for all you brothers out there that want to know about the Japanese woman. Got in her phone. I typed in 111 as the passcode. It didn't work. Typed in 000. Boom, I was in. I'm in her phone. I'm looking at all her messages, and all I see foreigners, 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 foreigners. I would say I saw maybe 11 foreigners, and I would say 8 of them was brothers. So
Jeez.
I'm reading conversations. I'm reading everything. I type in keywords in the search bar to see, if they're talking about, this explicit word or this explicit word. And I'm like reading, I find, boom, this one, boom, I'm reading, reading, reading. I find this, I'm reading, reading, reading. And man, as Ozzy just said, she was for the streets. But brothers, here's the thing about Japanese women when it comes to that. And then, I heard her getting out the shower. I exited out everything I searched, put her phone back like it was. And then, we handled our business after that. Um, but and what it is, brothers, is you have to understand that the Japanese woman that wants a foreign man, she's gonna be the Japanese women in general. They're usually submissive, brothers. They're usually feminine. Because I want my woman no tattoos. I want you clean. I don't want no tattoos. Don't get me wrong. If I meet a girl and she's fire and she has some tattoos, and it is what it is. I don't care. But I'd prefer you not have any. They don't have none. Feminine, submissive. I mean, just the most wonderful women in the world. But you have to understand. Sometimes it might be, not all the time, but it might be a trade off. You might meet, and what I mean by that is you might meet this beautiful Japanese girl who does everything that you want, who cares about you, but because she's only attracted to foreign men and there's hardly any foreign men in her country, she's gonna talk to these foreign men, and because she wants to be with them, she's probably going to use her weapon, which we know a woman's weapon against men is what, fellas? It's her box. So
Yep.
she's gonna give him that box, so that way, hopefully, he stays around, and then hopefully she can have a foreign man. And that happens a lot of the time, brothers. That's just life. So if you want to, we all want a woman that nobody's had. That's the ultimate, dream for a man, is to have a woman that nobody's had. But if you want a woman that nobody's had, most of the time you're gonna have to put in more work. You know what I'm saying? Because if she speaks English, 9 times out of 10, of course there are exceptions to every rule. But 9 times out of 10, she's gonna be she's gonna have a body count. She's not gonna be overt. You'll never know if you don't find out. That's how Japanese women are. They're very, very slick, and they know what they're doing too. They're very, very slick, but they're not doing it out of malice, brothers. You have to understand that's the difference between Western women and Japanese women. They're not the way they are out of malice or trying to get you or trying to deceive or manipulate you. They're just attracted to foreign men, and ain't no foreign men in Japan. And especially if they've traveled, brothers. Oh, she's had a thing or two in her lifetime if she's traveled. The Japanese women travel more than Japanese men statistically. So if they go to America or Australia or the UK, best believe, you can imagine Japanese
Yep.
women who never got attention. They don't get attention like that from their fathers a lot of the times or from the men or in their society. And then they go to a society where women get attention 24/7, even ugly ones. Oh, they gon' do their thing. So
Yeah, bro, I've seen that. I've seen that plenty of times with that over here in the UK. It's sad to see they throw around that box like like they're goddamn P stars.
no
But
doubt, no doubt.
so yeah, it's a damn shame. So let's get the phone lines open for the last 15-20 minutes, bro, for Q&As, and we'll wrap up from there, bro. It is a a Wednesday over my end. I do have work in the morning, so can't stay on for too long, brothers. So let's get the callers opened up. And once again, thanks to Bishop for the incredible intel in regards to his trip in Japan. Much appreciated, Mr. Bishop.
No problem.
Awesome. All right, so brothers, get the phone lines calling, brothers. Calling. If you can't call in, you must hit your question in the PayPal or super chat. Okay. This was an awesome live stream. So while we get a caller in, brother. So what's your thoughts about the birth rate in Japan? Do you think that it'll continue dropping? Because you're a Japan expert, right? Or you're very knowledgeable about Japan. Will it keep on dropping, or will it start going back up?
Nah, I don't think. I think it's gonna keep dropping. I think it's slowed down a little bit, but it's gonna keep dropping. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, I know Japanese men that welcome hafu is what they call it, um, babies over there because their birth rate is just not good. So brothers, Japan is, I'm telling you, it's open. It is free range, especially if you. I get a lot of this question too, and I've researched this question. Do you need to know Japanese in Japan? To be quite honest with you, brothers, I would definitely learn Japanese before going to Japan. At least know phrases and words like I did. You don't have to be fluent, but you need to know something because if you want to marry a Japanese woman, if you want a Japanese woman that doesn't have a lot of bodies, then you're gonna have to speak fluent Japanese. Period. Just
That's
straight up, I'm
facts.
being honest with you, brothers. If you want to be able, because you're gonna have to be able to get to know this woman on an intimate level, and it's gonna always be a barrier there if you're trying to talk English to her. Even if she knows English, it's still gonna be a lot harder to get through that barrier to know her true past and what really, if she's really been out there in them streets. So if you want a wife, a Japanese girl, a native Japanese, if you want a native Japanese girl that don't have no bodies or don't have a lot of bodies, you're gonna have to learn Japanese. And then when I say learn it, I mean actually learn Japanese, brothers. But yeah, while I was over there, I had a few Japanese girls. I had a Romanian girl. I was over there. I got mad stories about all of them, how we met, what we did, how we did it. And it's not all explicit. Like I still talk to a couple of them. I met a half food girl over there, half German, half Japanese. One of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my life. And she lives in Germany. But yeah,
Oh, hold on, brother. Before I bring in Marquise, brother, can you break down this half German, half Japanese woman? Hold on, brother. Was she a dime,
dime,
feminine,
straight up,
submissive, beautiful woman?
straight
And
up.
also, brother, hold on, brother. Is she also checking for brothers? Break down this half German, half Japanese chick, bro. This is incredible.
Um, she was the most wifeable woman I had ever met with in my life that I knew for 3 hours. What I mean by that is immediately I knew she was wifey. Immediately I knew she was wifeable. She talked about wanting to be feminine and submissive, how she hates feminism, how she hates what feminism's done to the world, how she wants to be a mother, how the West is so how the women are so slutty, but then in Japan the women are too reclusive. So they're like complete opposites. And we talked about how there's a happy medium in there. We talked about society as a whole. We talked about how the programming of feminism has made women want to compete with men when men and women aren't supposed to compete to begin with. We're complements to one another. We're not supposed to be competitors. I mean, and then she was the sweetest, nicest. I even, because I'm a man, I even tried to go to her hotel room because I was in Osaka and I went to her, but I could tell that she wasn't really with it. But she didn't reject me. She didn't reject going up there, but she kind of skimmed over that in the conversation, and that lets you know that she don't want to smash, which is beautiful because then that lets me know, okay, so that means that the other however many guys that tried, she also told them the same thing, usually, hopefully. And so that lets me know, okay, she's wifeable. She's feminine, submissive. She wants to be a mother. She wants the man to lead. And she doesn't have no bodies. And she's a dime. And when I say dime, I mean she was probably 5'7", which I don't know how many centimeters that is off the top of my head. But she was 5'7" and probably, shoot, she was thin, man. Like thin. So not too thin to where her ribs are showing, but she was thin and like feminine. I got a picture of her. She was tremendous, man. She was in Japan visiting her grandparents, but she lives in Germany, and I'm going to go to Germany as well because my boy is stationed over there. And IP, that's another thing too. We can talk another time, but my boy, I asked him if he would come on the channel and talk about Germany. He said he wouldn't mind. So he's been over there for years.
Oh, awesome. Let's touch base on that after this call, brother. I'll email you tomorrow or later on today. So, brother, let me ask this right. How old is this half Japanese, half German chick speaking like this, bro?
27.
Oh, okay. And she's wow.
Yeah, I'm 29. She's 27.
Oh
I,
my
I
goodness,
believe.
bro.
I believe she was. She might have been. I think she was 27. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure she's around that. She wasn't no older than I am.
Incredible. And this is why I'm telling you, brothers, get into IT, get a remote working job, or move to Japan with your IT skills. And if you were serious about IT, you would have booked your place on my upcoming Python course, man. You would have booked it, brothers. You would have booked it. You would have booked it. You would have booked it, and you would have booked it, brothers. Certain brothers are serious about being passport bros, getting out there, meeting half Japanese, half German chicks. And I saw a lot of beautiful women in Japan, bro. I'm telling you, it shocks me, bro. I'm going out there again, right? And I'm gonna have a ball again in Japan. Trust me, brothers, you're missing out if you ain't been in Japan and actually experience the actual culture there. Hold on, bro. Shout out to Mr. Soul T Balls for the $5 super chat. Jeez, my goodness, bruv. What a way to code an explicit word. Um, I'm gonna need you brothers to hit the PayPal, hit the super chat support. Once again, another intel for you brothers. I have touched upon over 65 countries, saving brothers' lives, helping brothers navigate in this crazy dating scene. And the Chile live stream I did last week, the Chile live stream I did, classic, man. 3 hours of intel on how you should navigate in Chile in South America, man. I'm putting in work for you brothers, man. So please support. Are they
Hey,
thick though? Go on, bro.
IRP, do you want me to answer these two donations real quick or?
Yes, please. So if you answer the first one, are they thick though?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you, brothers. Nah, man, Japanese girls ain't thick. They thicker than they used to be, for sure. From media that I've seen from Japanese about over about Japan from the 80s and the 70s and 90s, they're thicker now than they were then. But in terms of if are you gonna be walking around every day and see super curvaceous women? Nah, I'm gonna be real with you. You know, man. That just everybody knows that, man. Asian people in general are small people. Asian women are usually flat. I mean, it just is what it is. But they've gotten a lot thicker. But when you go from flat to a little bit, that don't make you thick to me. So, nah, I wouldn't say thick though. But they're getting better. Their breasts are getting bigger. Their butts are getting bigger. Um, yeah,
Did you see slim, thick woman, brother? Like the
definitely,
gym type? Mm.
definitely, yeah, definitely. Not in I would say the most I saw was just the typical, of course, the typical Japanese woman, which 160 centimeters, um, small, very usually thin on the thin side. That's most of what I saw, but they're getting a little bit thicker, like I said, and slim thick. There's some of that too, definitely.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Mr. Donovan Morrison for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Definitely had a great time in Japan. Women are definitely easy to talk to. Yes, indeed. Donovan, send me a DM on IG, brother. The platform is open for you if you want to share your experience as a brother bishop with the brothers over here, man. So send me a DM on Instagram. That goes for anyone. Feel free to send me a DM on IG. All right, let me bring in Mr. Marquise Hill. Marquise, you got your camera on. Is that okay? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, let me bring in Mr. Marquise. What's going on, Marquise?
I'm doing pretty well, man. I'm just back here enjoying the show, man.
Fantastic, bro. Good to see you on again, Marquise. I know you were in Japan recently, brother. By the way,
Uh-huh.
any questions you have, bro?
Yeah. What's the brother name that's talking to you right now?
Bishop.
Oh, Bishop. Yeah, Bishop, man. I'm glad that you enjoyed Osaka a lot, man. Because when I was out there, that's what I met the most expats and I met the most locals in that city when I was out there. And I really did meet a lot of locals in Tokyo because, like I told you, it's a busy city. Everybody's trying to get from point A to point B. So you're not going to meet a lot of people out there unless you do a lot of cold approaching. I mean they nice and everything, but they cool and laid back, and just that it's going to be hard for you to connect with the locals in that type of city. Just like I told you, I told you I never lie.
Yes, yes.
I told you Osaka was the better city.
Yeah,
Now Tokyo was nice, but it's
yeah,
just for me, I won't live there. You see,
yeah.
why I go back and visit Tokyo? Yeah, for sure. But I'm just not hype. Oh my god, I gotta visit Tokyo. Nah, it's
Right.
just like, huh?
Agreed.
Okay, I go back to Tokyo, but Osaka,
Agreed.
I will go back for sure. For sure, because Osaka has so much to offer. Osaka is known for its food. You will
Yep.
get the best food there. They
The
got the
kitchen of
best street
Japan.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the kitchen of Japan. They have one they got the best sweets there. They got the best street foods. They got
Yep.
the best restaurants there. You would eat like a king in Osaka. You
Yep.
see, when I was out there, oh man, that's why man. I met this white boy. When I was doing a lot of painting when I was in Osaka. He told me that if he ever lived in Tokyo, he might as well jump in front of a train. And it was like wow. I was like okay. Now he's an expat, by the way. Now he's a DJ at a nightclub. He does DJ at bars and stuff like that. I was he was introduced me to his Japanese friends out there and everything. We was just chopping it up, having a good time, dancing, listen techno music, doing his DJ type of thing. It was a really good vibe when I was in Osaka. Just a matter of fact, let me tell you a story. Now when I walk in one of the restaurants, now I met this Japanese guy that was working at a restaurant when I was eating. I showed him I want to check out this other restaurant in Osaka. It was famous. He was like, "Oh wow, really? You want to check out this place? It's only a couple blocks from there." So basically, now this is interesting. 30 minutes before the restaurant closed, he actually walked out the restaurant with me and showed me actually where the place was. We walked about 5 blocks away from where I came from. So he had the courage to walk with me out of his job to walk me 5 blocks to show me where this particular restaurant was. So that show you right there how genuine and nice Japanese people are out in
Hmm.
Japan. You agree, Bishop?
Bishop.
Hello,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bishop, Bishop.
I cut out. I cut out. My bad. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, you agree what I was saying, or
Oh, about Osaka and Tokyo.
yeah,
100%, 100%, man. Like you said, I would visit. I would visit Tokyo. Love to, love the culture. But I would much rather, if I could live in Japan, I'm living in Osaka 10 times out of 10.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I can live on a countryside too. I don't know if you visit those countrysides yet, but the countryside is so beautiful. I highly recommend visiting that side as well.
Yeah,
When you go to Japan.
I definitely am. Next time I go back, for sure, no doubt.
Okay, yeah, but let me tell you about the countryside. Now, the countryside, now the transportation, it shuts down around 5 or 6.
That's what I heard.
Yes.
The girl that I went places with that had a car, she told me that when next time that I'm there, that she'll take me. She'll have to drive me through the countryside because there's not that many or the trains don't run like that like they do in the cities.
5
Yeah,
or 6
because like
in the after. Sorry, in the afternoon.
yeah, like yeah, 6 in the afternoon. That's when like the buses and the trains start running on the countryside. Now, if you're in the city side, the trains and the buses start running like around like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning
Midnight.
or
Yep.
something like that. Yeah, midnight. So like yeah, reason why it is because like there's a lot of people there. So that's why like they extended the time like why you in
And then they
certain
open at
areas.
4 in the morning.
Exactly. Because like in Japan, like if you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's like waking up at 10 o'clock in the United States. You agree, Bishop?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, yeah, because like everything is open, everybody's active and ready to go to work and everything like that. But like if you wake up at 5 o'clock in the United States, everybody's like still sleeping. You see, so
Hey, shout out real quick to Donovan Morrison, man. Yeah, Oscar, she's from Osaka. She's gorgeous. She's one of my favorite wrestlers too. If you like pro wrestling, there's a place to go in Akihabara, right outside the train station. Huge building. The sixth floor is I think for manga, but then there's the eighth floor I think for pro wrestling. And there's a lot of like vintage wrestling stuff in there. Just so people know that are into anime or wrestling, Akihabara is a great place to go. Yeah, just wanted to
okay,
share that.
now, like it's interesting that you mentioned it about wrestlers because I went to a restaurant where like local like wrestlers like go to like
Yeah, there's a
like sumo
steakhouse.
wrestlers,
Yeah.
steakhouse. Now I noticed something like like it was like one of the WWE superstars that visit one of these restaurants. So
Hmm.
have you heard of AJ Styles?
Of course. Yeah, he a legend.
Yeah, but like he visited one of those restaurants in Osaka. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god! I looked at the poster like in this picture, like he took a picture of one of the owner.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
was the
Yeah,
that was,
it's a
yeah
popular steakhouse. I went to a New Japan pro wrestling
yeah.
show while I was in on July 5th. I went into Karaoke Hall in Tokyo, right next to the Tokyo Dome. I went to a New Japan show.
Yeah, because like I pointed at the picture, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I recognize this person. I know who that is. That's a famous WWE pro wrestler. I was like, "What the AJ Styles was there?" I was like, "Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting." Because like there's a lot of WWE superstars like or wrestlers like travel to overseas and go to Japan and they train.
Yeah.
There a lot. So that's why yeah, according to my research, yeah, like yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed Tokyo. I'm glad that you enjoyed Osaka. Again, like you said earlier, or like in your show, like brothers need to step it up. Like they can make things happen, but they have to make a lot of sacrifices. Which that means they got to stop like buying pair like name brand clothes, name brand shoes.
Right.
They got
Right.
they got to stop. They got to stop buying
And even
marijuana.
and I wouldn't say, and I agree with you. I wouldn't say that you have to stop, but brothers got to be smart, man. Stop trying to
Exactly.
flex. Stop trying to flex for the ladies here that ain't worth crap, and stop trying to flex on your own brother, on another black man, to show him you got it and he don't. Stop that ignorant attitude, man. What you brothers need to do is get you a job. It don't even have to be nothing crazy. It don't got to be nothing paying you 100 grand a year and nothing like that. But grind your butt off. If you got to, get 2 jobs. But grind your butt off, save your money, make wise decisions, and don't let the women here distract you. And if you end up impregnating some chicken head, that's your fault. And now you got to deal with that for the rest of your life. Stop.
Yeah, like and like for
You can use these women, and I don't mean to sound in a bad way, but if the women here ain't worth nothing, or if you can't find a woman that is worth something, that don't mean you got to be some monk in a cave, with a rock hard phallus. That just means go and find these women, do your business with these women, but make sure that you're not being irresponsible. Don't ejaculate inside some woman that you don't know nothing about or can't be a good mom or ain't got nothing to teach your child. And if you do, brother, that's your fault. I don't want to hear, man, my baby mama crazy. My baby mama did this. That's your fault because you chose to make a child with her. Save your money and go travel, go do something. Because the black man is loved around the world. When I say black, I mean the Western
yes,
black man. We are loved around the world. Don't get me wrong. Is there racism?
yeah,
There's racism everywhere, and everybody knows that.
yeah,
But we are
yeah.
loved. We're people look at us in awe because they can't believe that we escaped the quote unquote oppression that we face in the West and still are able to go to other countries. So brothers got to get that in their heads, man.
Yeah,
Facts.
exactly. Because like
Last question, bro. Last question. I need to go to bed. Last question, bro. Please. Brother, no, bro. Last question, brother. Marquise. Last question, please. Go on, bro.
yeah, like I was saying that, for an example, yeah, and they just got made sacrifices, man. Like, because like me, I have not approached a woman in the United States since 2016. And like I've been working my butt off, like like trying to get to these countries. And every single country that I said I was going to go to, I made it happen. So I agree with what you say on that. And like also I want to comment on now my video. There was a troll IP that had commented on the video. It was like Red Pill upload or something like that. That
Hmm.
was his name.
Hmm.
He said that like I exposed why black men go to Japan. Like I said in my video that it's cool to be lame in Japan. Reason why I mean by it's cool to be lame in Japan is because what I mean by it is because you could just be yourself, man. You don't have to act fake or anything. You can be comfortable in your own skin.
Right.
And like here in America, like
You gotta
if you
play.
just
You
be
gotta
your
play a role. You gotta play a role in America.
if yes, what I said, if you be yourself, you gotta play a role. Like if you be yourself here in America, then you consider lame or you consider like a weirdo or a stranger or anything like that. I was like, no, man, like and like he also mentioned that you gotta be charismatic and everything like that. I was like, dude, like come on, man, like not every man like okay now what works for this dude may not work for this other guy. You see what I'm saying? Because like
Hmm.
every man is different than each other. Like every man can't act the same. Because if
Okay.
every man act the same, the world would not be function as it would not
Bro,
function
I'll tell you
correctly.
this, man. Ignore the trolls, man. You know who you are. You know you had a
Yeah.
great time there. No time. No, don't give any energy to trolls, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just
All
ignore
right.
them
Yeah.
So,
altogether. They're irrelevant.
all
Yeah.
right. So, thank you, Marquis. So, I need to drop you, brother. 'Cause I need to go to bed very soon. Thank you, bro.
All
Much
right, man.
appreciation, brother.
All right,
All
man.
right,
Thanks,
salute,
man.
brother. And
Nice to meet y'all, man.
let me know your next trip, okay?
Oh yeah, my next trip is South Africa and Namibia next year.
Okay, awesome, brother. Awesome. Was that inspired by my channel? What we did
Uh,
recently?
actually, like I was planning on going to like South Africa and Namibia before I saw that video, but it was kind of
Okay.
interesting. Like that was a sign. Like okay, wow, he did a video about Namibia, and I'm already planning on going to Namibia next year. Okay, interesting.
All
Okay.
right, awesome. Thank you, Marquise. Appreciate you, bro. Let me drop you off there. Shout out to Mr. The Jughead one for the £5 super chat. UK brother in the house. Appreciate you, bro. Great work, passport, bro. Bishop and Marquise. Keep up the great work, love and respect from the UK brothers. Thank you, Jughead. Appreciate you,
Appreciate
bro,
that.
for the support. Much appreciated. So, Mr. Bishop Jab, any closing statement, bro?
Nah, man. I mean, I know you got to go. IP ain't gonna keep you up, brother. Just want to let brothers know, man. If you believe in yourself, man, it can happen. Don't let society, keep you in that boxed mindset of you can only be in the hood or you can only be in, the inner city, and you got to get with a Shaquita. Don't get me wrong, you can get with a black woman. She just has to act right. She has to behave, but at the same time, you have to have yourself together in order to even deserve a woman that behaves. In order to deserve a woman that's feminine and that's submissive and that loves you for you. So that's all I got to say. And I just wish brothers the best. And I appreciate you having me on, IP.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop, bro. I got to drop you, brother. I got a closing statement to say regarding to the IT course, but we shall speak very soon, okay, brother? I want to
Yeah.
email you about the Germany stuff, okay?
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Bishop, brother.
No
Peace out,
problem.
bro.
All right.
Salute to Bishop for a great live stream. That's a brother right there. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Demswood for the $199 super chat. Demswood, appreciate you, bro. Japanese women are the top women in East Asia. Ooh, is that a shot at the bros who believe that South Korean women are instead the top women of East Asia? Demswood, is that a shot at me and the brothers who believe that South Korean women are better than Japanese women, bro? You coming at us, brother? Hey, shout out to Demswood, man. That's a good brother right there. So, for the last 2 minutes of the live stream, this was a great live stream, right? So, let me just make an announcement for the Python course. So, we are officially filled on the Python course, right? And even though we're filled, I'm getting messages, requests, IP, man. I'm sorry, bro. I missed it. I told you, brothers, man, you should have grabbed the spots, okay? So, because I'm getting so many messages, right? I think that I might allow an additional 5 spots. Okay. And after that, I ain't got it's closed. Okay. So if you missed out on it, maybe I'll think about adding 5 more spaces in my upcoming Python course. I told you, brothers, man, be quick and get it. All right. You need to execute faster, brothers. Right now, some of you brothers missed that spot for some odd reason. So I'll think about it. Maybe I might add 5 more spots. Okay. And after that, no more. We start class ASAP and we begin the Python course, beginner and intermediate. Okay. So look out for perhaps the announcement if I do open it later today on the YouTube community post, or I might open it as soon as I end this live stream. I might add an additional 5 spots. This is tricky. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I'll think about it. Shout out to Mr. Donovan Morrison for the $2 super chat. Going back to Malaysia in December. Donovan, can we do? Do I have a live stream on Malaysia? I've never done Malaysia, and I've tried getting a brother, right. International passport. Absolutely, Bishop. Yep. Clubbing. Yep. Okay, bro. Well, we'll definitely get that set up, bro. I will email you when we can get clubbing and women in general set up about Japan. Absolutely, bro. All right. So international passport, Malaysia. Have I done a live stream in Malaysia? I've never done that, bro. Bro, can you DM me on IG, Mr. Morrison, and let's get a live stream done for Malaysia before you go to Malaysia in December. I have been searching for Malaysia for 2 years now, bro. 2 years. I've asked around, have you been to Malaysia? Many brothers ain't been there. So, Mr. Donovan Morrison, there's my IG on the live stream chat and on the screen as well. Can you please DM me, direct message me right now, Donovan, and let's get a live stream done for Malaysia. Please, 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 please. Mr. Arfel, are you referring to Japan? If so, brother, or Malaysia, also send me a DM as well on Instagram, Arfel Strobes, and we'll read and we'll touch base. But Donovan Morrison, I'm gonna need you to DM me ASAP, please, bro. Let's get this Malaysia stream done for the brothers. I need that as well. I've been searching for that for 2 years, bro. Malaysia, and it's always eluded me. So please, bro, for the brothers, man, for the culture, the culture, the culture. All right. So, let me go on the Patreon right now. Okay. So the Python course is officially filled up. I am looking forward to teaching the brothers. Do I add an additional 5 spots? Let me see. 80. Hold on. Okay. Right, I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. Okay. All right, thank you, Donovan. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Pooh. Shout out to Pooh. Shout out to Bishop. Shout out to Show Shader. Show Shader, if you check your I'm a DM you, Show Shader, in regards to Show Shader, if you can send me a DM. Actually, yeah, hold on. Let me just double check real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, brothers, yeah? Mr. Show Shader, send me a DM on Patreon, please. That'd be great. Yeah, send me a DM on Patreon, Show Shader. That'd be great, brother. Okay. Did you hear me? Did you hear that, Show Shader? If you send me a DM on Patreon, we shall speak. Could we have something planned? I remember you asked a question. So thank you, Bishop. Thank you, all the brothers. Thank you to the guests who called in. That was greatly appreciated. We are winding down to the end of the year. We gotta keep pushing. We gotta keep pushing. Do I open 5 more spots for the Python course? Ooh, let me see. This is okay. Hold on. All right, 5 more minutes and I end the live stream. Five more minutes. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna do it. Okay. I'm going to open up 5 more slots. So if you've missed out, you're lucky. Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'll open it up after the stream, and it's up for grabs. After that, we're done. Okay. Because I need to start preparing properly, and I can't keep taking new people on because it messed up the plans and the schedule. So if you've missed out on it, you have another chance to get in the Python course where I'll be teaching you brothers beginners and intermediate Python, and we shall get the ball rolling and get a schedule done. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll open it up right after the stream. Okay, brothers. Thank you, Donovan, for sending me a DM. I'm going to check it after the stream. Once again, this has been an incredible live stream. It's going to be a busy winter ahead. I'll be teaching quite often, so maybe I probably will do less streams. I'll be prioritizing my students on the Python course where I'll be teaching beginners and intermediate Python. I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, winter is where you study hard. Winter is where you study hard. I wanted to say something. I wanted to say something. Flip. Okay. All right. Okay. Right now, I'm super tired. I gotta go to bed. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I hope that you brothers have a great week ahead, and we shall speak very soon. Okay. Peace out, brothers. International Passport out.